right, and we are live. Welcome to Blue Box, and here for another exciting session of Campaign 1. And we have all kinds of upgrades that we've been doing here in the room. We have, you okay?
The house.
Oh, yes. And actually, I need to get you your character sheet real quick. So, as we're getting ready to get started, thanks for joining us today. We have a couple characters that have leveled up as well, so I think we have some hit points to be rolled. And we are, hey, Sigzilla! Thank you very much for the early cheer. Always love those preemptive cheers, suggesting you know something good is coming, even if nothing good has happened yet. We appreciate that very, very much. Also, we want to just, as always, acknowledge a couple of our sponsors. So as we're getting ready to do that, if you're going to be rolling hit points, get your dice ready. If you have any feat discussions, we'll go ahead and do that on camera just so we can have our audience enjoy that as well. And then we'll be getting into today's session in just a moment. So first of all, let me begin by thanking everyone who's viewing the stream. We just love the growth that we continue to see. At Blue Box here, we are now in excess of 1,620 Instagram followers, 255 Twitch followers, and I think it's just been incredible what's happened just since, August, I think, we started growing this channel, and we're very grateful. We got some big goals for 2020 and what we want to see accomplished. I'd like to start out just making sure that the audio sounds good. Audio is going to be the next piece that I'm really upgrading here. You should already see huge differences in the cameras, the lighting. There are going to be new views today, and I want to make sure that we continue to level up this channel. We've got some exciting things planned for 2020, maybe even a new gaming table designed to give us better space and visibility in our room. That's going to be fun. And so all kinds of good stuff. So let me check. How's the audio sound? Anybody that's tuned in right now? Do I sound tinny, distant, too loud? Let's just go around the room and have each of you say your player name and level, just so people can hear you. Good, we'll start with you.
I'm Irda, and I'm level 6 now.
I'm Solomon, and I believe I'm level 5 now.
Oh.
I'm Ixen, I'm level 6, and I'm an alchemist.
I'm Captain King Cardinal, and I'm not sure what level I am yet.
All right, so Sigzilla, Scud24. Hey, Scud24, good to see you. Glad the audio seems good.
I'm level 6.
All right, good. So I'm going to keep watching that. If you guys hear any clipping, particularly as we get loud, let me know if you hear clipping. Additionally, if anything's too quiet, I'm going to be adjusting gain and other mic settings here. Eventually, we're going to be upgrading mics and getting more mic equipment in here, but I think we should be okay for today. Good, I'm glad it sounds perfect. All right, so first of all, big thank you to our sponsors. We have a few that have really helped us. One of them is on the stream right now. We love Two Dungeon Masters. They are doing a lot of great things for the community. They had a live stream on Instagram last night that was a lot of fun. They got a voice challenge coming up, which I think I'll be participating in as well, and be looking to see your own DM Neuromancer participating in an interview with Two Dungeon Masters here coming very soon. We're going to get that timing worked out, and I can't wait to be on their podcast talking about all things old school D&D. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, we have great sponsors like Atris Minis. I gave them a shout out this week on our IG channel. They've done the painting for some of our minis, and I think we've got some more coming soon. And then also, of course, Dragon Crafting Guild, and they continue to provide us with incredible stuff. I got some new mini trays this week that we're going to be deploying and using in the stream. In fact, if you want to hand me that one right there, that's a brand new one. With a really cool looking eyeball. Cade Cardinal has claimed this one as his own. But we're going to be giving some more of these away in future streams. Absolutely cool work product. Fable 42, Chris Solo and Ukador, we work with them. Look for, I appear on a stream once a month there for Origins of Ukador as well. And of course, last but not least, Renan Asuncio. Renan is our incredible sculptor. Oh, let's go, Camolis, thank you. Our incredible sculptor from Spain by way of Brazil. And if you missed it, he works in AutoCAD or whatever that, I don't know what that program is. It's some slick 3D sculpting program. There is a VOD up available on our Twitch channel. He did it yesterday. He's working on Orc King for Riven Realm, and it is incredible what this guy does. So thank you to all of them and all the support that we're getting on the channel. Yes, the mini trays are awesome. Okay, so let's start over here with Irda. You're going to be rolling hit points today, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. That's 1, and we
So
reroll 1.
you re-roll ones. because I'm a generous DM.
4.
All right, a 4 on your first level. And for the additional level up that you did,
7.
a 7. Okay, so that's very nice. Add any constitution bonus you have. Solomon. So as a DM, I let the players do all their level up stuff between sessions to minimize impact on time. The one exception is hit points. I think hit points are just too tempting to cheat. So what's that for a 10? All right. All right. Now, and did you level up twice or just once?
Twice.
Okay, so roll for your second one.
10.
Whoa! That's a 1 in 100 chance that you do that. Double odds. Well done, Solomon. So add your con bonus to that. And let's go here to Ixen. Okay, re-roll the 1.
Fumble.
Ooh.
6.
A 6. A 6 it shall be. And then we go to Cade.
Did I miss something?
What?
Why am I rolling? Because it's already added up in here.
Oh, you've already done it in your app. Okay, so yeah, you don't roll.
Sorry.
That. Yeah, all
My
right.
app rolled it for me.
Okay, very good. So, with that done, let's go ahead and jump into what happened last time. Let's give a quick 2-3 minute synopsis for our audience. We really concluded an important chapter in this campaign as the heroes returned from the Thistletop area where they had been inside that incredible ancient stone statue skull that loomed above the cliffs. All of the interesting combats that occurred, and then they made your way back. So let's just do a quick rewind and give us a couple things that were highlights from the last session.
I lived.
You did indeed live. That was somewhat in doubt. In fact, the last session is titled Solomon's Fate, which reminds me I need to get that uploaded before I lose it from Twitch here. In fact, I think today might be the last day. But yeah, Solomon's Fate at the beginning and the flaming lava of the Malfeshnakor pit. And he actually wound up using a fate chip that he had just recently secured with his incredible critical.
5 seconds
So
before.
easy come, easy go. And he managed to survive with an assist from Ixen, who helped him thrust out of the lava. And then what else happened?
Ixen skinned Malfeshnakor.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Yes.
I took its head.
And, Witcher style.
Still have it.
Hey, OPSEC Monkey. Good to see OPSEC Monkey here again with us. He's actually doing something cool for us as well. I should have mentioned this. He's got a dice tower coming for Blue Box, and I think he's got a little something for each of you that he's working on as well. So, all right.
Yeah, you just put them in.
All right. So what else happened last week?
Let's see. We left the Malfeshnakor room and went into the remaining door that we had not gone into previously, which was a room full of columns and...
Oh, hey, Chris from Orlando, welcome, and thank you for the follow. Hey, that puts us at 256.
Huzzah.
Get a big huzzah for that. We get four more followers. We're going to do a mini giveaway, and I'll show you what that mini is going to be at the break. It's going to be cool, and it's good to have Chris from Orlando following us. All right, so what else happened last time?
Let's see. So we ended up in the room with the coffins and the columns, and then Kay tried to attack the statue.
Of course, a staple.
And ended up finally destroying it. But there was some fighting with some like ghosty type things, and then after that concluded, we departed the Thistletop. Irda grabbed Shadow Mist, her new horse. And
I don't want to miss the fact. I want to reiterate that yes, Kay did in fact vanquish the statue eventually. That did happen. He was successful.
What did you do with your old horse?
It followed us back.
Oh, okay.
Like I tied its reins to my...
Yeah, so you still have the old horse.
Make sure you didn't
Yeah, don't let it back.
It's goblin meat now. No, so then on the way back towards Sandpoint, we made camp. You know, and something interesting happened in the camp.
Oh, Sully! My friend.
From Sully.
So I'd like to hear what happened with Sully from Cade's perspective quickly, and then I'd like to hear what happened with Sully from Ixen's perspective.
Oh boy. Let's see.
So Sully approached you from the firelight.
Me friend. Me mate from the good old days on me ship. And we were sitting around by the firelight.
And Sully seemed to actually be implying something that Cade was quite uncomfortable. So what did Cade do, Ixen?
Well, so Cade Well, I found Sully, and he was very clumsy, and she was convincing him. He was convincing him that he was a captain of a ship once lost. But Sully looked very confused by that claim.
But he went along with it.
So she began threatening him, and then
Indeed.
And then ended up smacking him on the back of the head.
Yeah, she tried to strike him.
Fall into the fire.
Yeah. And then when he persisted, Kate took an additional step.
I poured me rum all over the fire. Kaboom!
All right, so that would be a good place to test clipping. Did we have any clipping on the? Oh, it's Jacoby. I assume that is Jacoby from hello, the rogue. From Fable 42 Ukador, yes? Is that one and the same?
No, that's Jadobi, and that's Jacob.
Oh, I see. That's Jacob. My bad. Okay. Hey, I'm getting old. That's why I have these right here. So yeah. Oh, Jacob. Now I see. All right. So, welcome. So Cade threw his rum on the fire. Cade threw his rum on the fire.
It was a beautiful sight.
And it was quite the conflagration. And then eventually Sully, who was initially besmirched by the beauty of Irda, decided that this was way too weird a scene for him to be part of, and he ran away. So with that said, you guys then made your way into Thistletop, and there was some interesting complications that occurred as you did that.
I also charmed Cade to get him to stop setting himself on fire.
You did. I forgot about that. That's right. You charmed Cade to save him from himself.
Yes. And then we went into back into Sandpoint, and
riding with the head of the giant demon cat.
Sent people screaming and fleeing, and Cade had a one pirate parade.
And going around, what were you, silver?
Silver. He's tossing silver.
All right, so it is Cade throwing the silver around for the one pirate parade, which is where we will begin today. And again, the rogue backs up from the fire and goes to get the guards. I love it. And I like that window being open, but please close that blind. It's putting too much light in here. I know, but the windows, it's just, I need that closed for lighting. And hey, thank you, Jacob, for the follow. That's 2 followers, and we haven't started playing yet.
Where should Ixon be?
We're just 3. I had him pulled away for a reason, and I'll put him back in a second. We're just 3 followers away from our giveaway. And I'm going to check one last time. Is there any clipping on the mic? If no one's hearing any clipping on the mic, then I'm going to go ahead and get us started. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. And again, thank you so much for the follow. Haven't heard any. Outstanding. Okay. Then with that said, let's do a quick switch so you can see the town. So you are here in the town of Sandpoint. And in fact, that's the highlight of the town there. But if you look here, you can see also what you see up on the monitor here. So that's sort of a more realistic representation of the town of Sandpoint as you're walking through. You're actually right near the Rusty Dragon, where a couple of you have gone to go in. And so you have... Thank you very much.
It looks like the town we went to in England.
So, so you see then... As Ixon started to turn to move to find a bookstore, suddenly there is a ruckus happening behind, and you see Captain Cade is throwing silver. In fact, I believe about 50 pieces of silver. Suddenly a small crowd is gathering. You see a beggar start scooting up toward trying to be part of it.
I try and hand me
I
goblins
have a question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. So I don't know how we're gonna do this now. Like, 'cause this is obvious. Like, I'm confused. But I got the mutagen ability now that I'm level 6. But all it says is this discovery gives the alchemist the mutagen class ability. This discovery exists so alchemist archetypes who have the variant mutagens, such as mind chemists, can learn how to make standard mutagens. That's all it says, but I don't know what mutagens are.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can certainly think of a mutagen. It's funny because we're playing Cast a Coin to your Witcher. Mutagens are the Witcher. But we'll have to look at that between sessions so I can help you build that out. We don't have time to build it out right now. But they would be, things that you can consume which increase your abilities or give you additional abilities, and we'll have to figure out how to build that out within the system. Okay, so you see then as Ixon, you turn around and you see Cade is now sort of swarmed. The two of you are about to walk into the inn. A child runs up. Me, me, me! And
Alright,
she's
throw a coin. I give some to my goblin to throw. I give. What does he throw?
So again, reminder: this goblin that you have is nigh unto an infant.
Oh.
Wait, you let him go.
No, I didn't.
No. She still has it on the back of her horse. You were creating a concoction for it that has not been given yet, and she has it on the back of her horse. When Cade, he initially ran into town, several of the townspeople noticed this. He made a claim that this was a captured creature. The diplomacy check was on the verge, but then Cade started throwing silver, and that quickly created a little bit more friendliness in the crowd.
Yes.
So Cade is now being surrounded. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to go into the inn.
Going in the inn.
And I want to take my to take Shadow Mist to like a stable or something, just so to pay for his being kept while we're in town.
Okay, so you find stabling for Shadow Mist actually right next to the inn. Okay. That's going to be 2 copper a day to keep him stable there, so you can mark that off. And you are.
I'm gonna go talk with Amiko about the status of the lovely sword.
Okay, all right. So you see, as you're stabling, you see Solomon disappears through the doors. Ixen, you now are just a few feet away. You see this crowd gathering around Cade.
Huzzah! Huzzah, lovely people of this town.
I follow Solomon and Irda.
All right, so Ixen walks past you and goes into the inn as well. You're surrounded for some time. You see more and more people keep coming. So how much more are you giving out?
What a predicament I'm in.
What?
Do you have any more? More for me, please? No, me!
Alright, I take out some bronze.
It's Cade! It's Cade!
Oh, yes it is Cade! Me lovely people of Sandpoint. We're in Sandpoint. Of Sandpoint!
Just picturing Cade like leaning down from the...
Oh, I get some bronze, I get some copper out and like, yo ho, a pirate life for me! And I just throw out lots of coins.
All right, soon you see it's actually starting to clog the roadway.
As I'm going towards the inn.
So you start kind of backing your horse up toward the inn.
Yes.
All right, people continue to follow you. Roll D20.
Oh, gracious. This is not good. Oh, a 7. Arr. Me lot in life.
A child is reaching up
Oh.
to grab you, and your little goblin bites the child's finger.
No!
Ah! Look at that monster! He bit her! He bit her! The people start staggering back, and the little boy's crying. You see blood's welling from his finger.
Okay. Arr, that was not good. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Kill it! Kill the monster!
No! Arr! What?
You're about to walk to the door. You're hearing this happen.
Have I already...
You're already inside.
Do I know now that the goblin bit the finger?
Well,
I grabbed the goblin.
You hear people you hear the yell. He's already inside. You're stabling your horse.
I yell, kill the goblin!
Are there windows in the inn that I can...
Just bit a child.
So, because I feel like I would have heard the commotion
Roll
as I was...
Roll D20.
Do I hear the commotion?
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm just...
Oh, I have an update to my perception.
Oh, yeah, actually, I need that real quick. Quick timeout. I need everyone's updated perceptions, please.
Okay.
7.
All right, Cade has a 7. Thank you.
+5 now.
Yeah.
All right. Ixen, perception?
It is a +10.
Okay. And? You're
That's 14.
14. Wow, all right. So go ahead. Both
Oh,
of
they
you roll
proceed.
D20
I'm
for
in
me.
trouble.
Roll the
15.
18.
19.
Well, you don't need to. You're standing right there.
Oh.
You're there. What's that?
18.
15.
Okay, yeah. So as you're walking in, your eyes are just adjusting to the dim lighting of the Rusty Dragon, and you hear a scream from outside. You have finished stabling your horse. As you come walking out, you see the throng. Now, there's a good 20, 30 people that are surrounding Cade right here. And as the crowd
Making my
grows,
horse go faster!
no, you're kind of hemmed in. They're like on all sides of you. You see Solomon comes walking back out. Irda, kill the goblin.
What has he done this time?
You don't know it's me. I'm disguising my voice.
Why would you do that?
Would I... I am going to do as Cade did and create a little diversion for him, so hopefully he can get in the end.
Can I?
I'm gonna
I
say.
think that's Jadobi.
Can I?
I'm gonna yell.
Oh yeah, I think that's right.
Yell something about, "Hey, coin over here, follow me," and then go run somewhere and.
Can I see the injured child at all from? where
Yeah.
I'm
So, yes, from where you're standing, you can kind of see the focal point of the ruckus.
I'm going to actually hurry over to the child and I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna use one of my healing spells. It's probably not that bad. So I'm gonna use a cure light wounds on this child.
Okay. So you see, Kate, as you're trying to back your
I
horse
hold
up,
my goblin.
you kind of clutch the goblin, the little goblin child to you, clutch it to your
I
back.
hold him into. I tuck
You
him
pull
into my
it,
coat.
you tuck him under your coat. You see Irda rushing her way through the crowd, and she touches and she prays briefly over this child. You see a little warm yellow light, and suddenly his hand is healed. The crowd, oh, it's magic! It's magic!
And then I just lean down to the child.
Isn't she
directly,
beautiful?
and
She's my friend.
I want to say I hope that has you feeling better. I don't think it was meant.
He looks up at you. Thank you. And he casts a glare over at Cade. He can see the lump of a goblin under his coat.
You don't put your fingers where they shouldn't belong.
Pause.
Okay, OC?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you... That better not be on a blue box meme anytime soon. I'm just saying that right now. All right, so...
It's hot in here.
Well, then go turn on the air. I can't have that lighting, so just turn the air on.
Arr, it's hot.
You just said you have that.
Can that one be?
No, it's... No. Okay.
Just turn on the
Yeah.
air. Or
So,
take off the hoodie. Can
you see that Cade is now backing up. I need for Irda. Okay, so Solomon, what are you doing? You see Irda doing the healing.
I was gonna create a diversion, and then she went and ended that. So
He saves his coin.
save my coin, and I go into the.
Can you just turn around and walk back in?
No, I'm gonna stand and observe for another minute. There we go.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
Exit says, "Kill the goblin!" Again,
God.
in a low deep voice.
All right.
I
so,
run into the end.
All right. Now that you've healed the child, what are you trying to do?
I'm going to just be like, everybody, this child is okay, and I think it probably will be best if we move on, and we will take care of the situation.
Okay, make a diplomacy check.
Okay, let's see. My diplomacy
Army one pirate parade.
is plus 12. Hopefully this goes well.
Did anyone think a one pirate parade would end well? Really?
Never.
Any sort of amount of a pirate parade would be
That's
bad.
a 30.
So you see,
She's very diplomatic.
there's almost a the hush that went around the crowd at this sort of warm healing glow and the child's finger being healed before their very eyes. You hear Irda, she speaks in a soft but commanding tone, and while there's still some glances being given towards you, the crowd kind of backs away and they pick up a few.
I bow to Irda.
And pick up a few spare silver pieces. And in moments, you all find yourselves back inside the Rusty Dragon Inn. So as I pop that up, I'm going to go ahead and go to our player-only view. And you guys get inside the inn. And as you're inside the inn, you look around and you can see it's full of patrons very similar to what you saw last time you were in the inn. There's folks scattered at the bar. You do see a Mako tending bar at the back, and there are several open tables. So tell me what you're doing inside the inn.
Ordering rum.
I go up to a
I was gonna say,
Mako.
we should seek out the Mako.
Oh, did I bring the head? Do I have it with me right now in the inn,
It
or
was
did
on
I
your
leave
horse.
it on my? Okay.
I think you did not
Well, that would be
say.
weird on your horse.
I did
It would
not-
also be weird walking into an inn with the giant head
Oh, no, flesh, no flesh.
of a
But
devil cat.
we could mount it on the wall.
That is true.
Hey, bring
I'm
it
just
to a
saying, you did not
Miko.
say that you took it off the horse.
That's what I was thinking. So then I'll still have it with me. But if the stables are next door...
Wait, where is my figure?
Dude, wait, you were...
You're...
You were... Oh, there he is.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you were right there.
In that case, I will get the head later to mount.
Oh.
After making sure it's okay with the Mako.
Yes, it's probably
I feel like that's a good idea before I just walk in with a decapitated head. What?
A giant beast.
You just need to say head at that point.
That's true.
Because decapitated head
Yeah.
that you're carrying by itself is redundant. I have a head by itself that is a decapitated head.
Well, you
Way
could
to
be...
stay ahead of the game.
It's the department of
You could be
redundancy.
carrying a head that is still attached with something. And then it is
Oh!
a head and also other body parts. There we go.
So as you step inside the Rusty Dragon Inn and you're having this conversation, each of you can kind of move to the spots that you would like to be inside the room. And you see that a Mako stands by the bar, and she looks up and she turns and walks over to you. Are you all seated together? And you went to the bar to get rum.
I walked to her.
Okay, so go ahead and move your figures to where they should be in accordance with your action.
Ixon, where are you? They're right there.
I'm going up to the bar as well.
All right, so as you walk up, a Mako looks over and she says, "Oh, travelers, you've returned. Thank the heavens. We've been worried about you. What did you find? Were you able to discover the source of the goblins and their unrest?"
I have some very bad news for you. The sword you gave me broke. But I also have good news for you. The goblins have been, shall we say, taken care of, disposed of.
How was the sword broken? It was magical and quite strong.
The thing is,
Would you like me to explain?
it's still a sore spot for me. I only had that sword for I think a day and a half, but not even that.
There was a creature that had the blood that was powerfully corrosive, and
it
as we were
attacked me, and I noticed it, and then I forgot about it and got carried away with the bloodthirstiness of the whole situation.
He vanquished it mightily.
I proceeded, I killed it, I stuck my sword in it, and I was like, you know what would be really cool right now? Is if I just sliced it just clean down the middle. This creature with corrosive blood to the blade, I sliced down the middle. So as I'm slicing through its guts and intestines and blood vessels, it shattered. Broke.
A beautiful slice it was.
She looks at you. Was it a brown, sort of orange brown colored creature about this tall with antenna?
Yes, I believe so.
You swung my magical blade at a rust monster. Are you daft?
He's beautiful.
I am. Look how beautiful I am.
No matter.
I am terribly sorry. I didn't know. We don't have rust monsters where I come from. The land of no rust. As it is colloquially known.
But that's why his armor is so shiny.
She says, it is of no matter. I'm sorry. I should not be concerned about
Do you
such
have another
things.
one?
Another magic sword?
I would pay handsomely.
You have a magical sword.
Yes, but the more the merrier.
He loved that blade.
She looks over at Irda and just kind of shakes her head at Ptolemy.
Amico, also, so while we were in the depths of Thistletop, we found this giant, abhorrent creature.
How about we tell about the fact that we killed Dualia?
Yeah,
We
Nualia
killed- we should
probably
has been
get there
defeated.
first.
We killed Nualia. She's dead.
Why would you do that?
Because
She
she
was
was
a demon.
evil. She was turning.
The beautiful Azamar woman, she was...
turning into a demon.
Yes.
And was a sister.
Yes.
Funny thing.
And wanted to kill us. We didn't do anything.
Discovered that-
Well, Cade was ogling a little bit too much, which kind of set her off. And then
Oopsie.
they started talking gibberish. And then
While you're talking,
Solicitor.
Amiko she seems like this is all coming at her so fast she's having a hard time taking it in. You see she absentmindedly just leans over and grabs the stein of Cade's rum and she just takes a drink while you're talking.
Yes. So not a very nice lady.
We discovered that there was the plot for another attack on one Sandpoint
Which we thwarted successfully.
by defeating this
Everyone.
beast called the Malfeshnakor and Nualia.
So Malfeshnakor is this giant cat. It's a demon cat. I killed it.
Very
I have
violent.
its head, and I notice on the walls you have the heads of a few other large beasts mounted. And I was wondering if, since I broke your beautiful sword, if you might want the head of this demon cat.
She looks at you.
Yes.
She tosses back another drink. Have you had it to the taxidermist yet?
You should
We just got here.
Otherwise, the smell.
We killed it, like-
terrible.
Recently. It's freshly dead. I almost died too. It was
What?
horrifying.
Why did you look at your wrist?
I don't. Did I look at my
You
wrist?
looked at your wrist. Why did you look at your wrist? That's very
I was
strange
seeing
thing
if
to
I had
do.
any jewelry on.
Oh, okay.
Let me- Oh, do you like this lovely necklace that I have? This pendant.
She looks at that.
Wow, he's trying to charm Amiko.
She says, may I see it?
Sure.
All right, so you hold it up to her so she can have a look at it, and for the benefit of our audience and for you as well, we'll go ahead and bring it up on the screen. So you see the medallion that Cade has around his neck. It looks something like this.
Solomon.
Solomon, yeah, sorry. And it has a 7-pointed star that circles around it.
Is it like that silvery color? Or
Yes,
is it...
it looks just pretty much identical to that.
Ooh,
And
Cool necklace to have.
she
that's mine.
she holds the medallion and she says, I've seen this symbol somewhere in my travels before, but I don't recognize it.
I say, also, I don't mean to cut you off, but I did. Solomon also lost in an arm wrestling match to Ira. So, I think this is important.
What
to,
does this? What relation does this have?
Well, you seem to be blabbling to the woman. I want her to know that you're not worthy.
We're just going back in history.
I was not there.
That was a long time ago. I'm a different man now. After the trauma and the trials
No, you're
that
not.
I faced
Didn't even
in Thistletop, I
He's
have
a new man.
He pulled
Grown.
himself out of lava with the might of
of me,
three
Ah.
the might of me.
Yes.
The might of me.
Arrgh.
I killed Malfeshnakor in but a single hit.
Who
Yeah.
saved you?
Huzzah!
I saved myself.
No,
you
did
helped.
not.
You
I
assisted.
saved you.
His wings!
Without me,
Wait,
you'd be
whose
dead.
wings?
You'd be burned alive.
Yes,
So,
but without
I'm so
my
confused.
giant bulging biceps, I wouldn't have been able to pull myself out of that inferno.
You wouldn't have been in that situation.
Amiko,
anyways.
while they're talking, she just looks over at you, Irda. Are they quite all right?
They've got some competitive streaks in them, I think. So, anyway, so things should be a lot better now. We also met, by the way, a woman,
Can I have my medallion?
another woman,
She'd already handed it back to you.
who knew your brother.
Just had to make sure.
And Irda would remember the woman's name, but I do not remember the woman's name. But she was the mage that we met.
Oh yes, the mage.
The mage.
She knew
She
your
left.
brother.
Where did she go? She
went
did we
to-
know?
We
We
she
know
said
she
she was
left-
going to the last one.
She knew Suto.
Yes. She said she was his. That they had a relationship. That.
She seems kind of troubled by this. I must rest, but make yourselves comfortable here, and Please don't take anything else off my wall, Simon. And she turns and she walks upstairs.
You gave it to me!
I buy rum for the whole place. Rum for everyone.
All right, they're about.
Kate.
In that case, I will
Aren't
have
you
a
supposed
whole
to be
barrel.
saving for a ship?
But rum does a soul good, so.
What time of day is it?
Yeah, it was it was like mid-morning.
Yeah.
Because you
Oh,
guys had
well.
broken camp and you weren't far
We're
from.
morning drinkers around here, I guess.
Would anyone like to accompany me to the taxidermist to take care of old Mau up there?
Yeah,
I'll go.
I will go with you.
To
I
the
actually
The
have a
taxidermist.
couple
To
of
do what
other
exactly?
things I want to do in town.
Taxi the
Oh,
head.
she wants it. Does she want it?
She just asked me if I took it there, so I'm assuming
Might
if
as
I
well.
take it there, she might want it.
But even if you want to keep it, you should do it anyway.
That's smart, because I don't want to rot it.
So go ahead and roll d20 for me, Solomon.
Head. 19.
Okay. So even in your sort of diminished capacity, you had the sense that her indication of whether or not you'd taken it to a taxidermist was not a request sort of tacitly that she would want it, but rather, why would she even look at some sopping wet mess on the back of your horse, sodden with blood and entrails? It was almost more of like a "Are you kidding me?" kind of a comment, not a like DM hint to go to the taxidermist.
Darn. Well, in that case, I would like a drink. Or 3.
Alright, got you back there, Solomon.
All right, so there's about 20 people in the tavern, so let's go ahead and say 2 gold. Pull 2 gold from your purse for ale to be passed around.
I just lay. How much does a room cost a night?
I better see
I know.
up for
It was a silver here with room and board.
Okay, so I just put a silver on the table and I head up to a room.
Okay. All right, Solomon or Ixon heads up to his room. Cade, you have now people gathering around you again. They're starting to be a little bit more lively inside the inn. Even though it's only mid-morning, you see that the residents of Sandpoint have no trouble drinking free ale in the middle of the morning.
Arr.
I am also going to go up to my room to leave my pack and things so that I can take care of those things that I messaged you about.
Yes. Okay. All right, you do that.
Kate, are you also paying for food? For not
Only
everybody.
for you.
Then I would like
Meat.
a plate of the best dish served at the Rusty Dragon.
Arr, me too. Some hot, steaming stew.
The best, the bartender kind of, he moves over. It's the same fella you've seen before, kind of heavy set, bald, jowls, apron over his front. Well, what is it? You want the best that we've got, or you want the stew?
I want the stew. Hot,
So-
steaming stew.
What sort of foods do you serve, good sir? I've never ate at this establishment.
We've got
We
fine.
did?
We did.
We did. That was so long ago.
We've got fine brisket. We've got lamb. We've got all kinds of different breads. We've got good fare here. Mr. Maker, she makes sure we have good things.
Any potatoes?
Lots of potatoes.
Are you asking me if we have potatoes?
Taters.
Type.
He shakes his head and walks off. All right, so
You are the potato. You've been through this.
so take another 8 silver out of your pack.
For this dinner?
Your
This is
way-
expensive
he- so
dinner.
they bring out the bartender brings you out a
Why am
bowl
I
of
so
stew.
important?
You see about 20 minutes later he
Convince
comes
him
out
that you should get it for
with
free.
a giant
Oh,
rack
hey,
of
I have a story to tell.
a giant rack of lamb. He's got potatoes, leeks, breads. It's like it's quite the feast. And Solomon, you got your stew
What is
together.
it? Sprinkle with gold? How much?
Wait.
8 silver.
So I have all of this food, and Kate just has his
Stew. Yeah, Kate has stew.
I'm not sharing with you, Kate. This one's mine.
I go
Oh
to
my
my room
gosh.
and I finish my cutting of the hide to fit a nice cloak around my body.
Okay, all right. So you're upstairs with the semi-cured husk. The word's escaping me. The hide. Whatever. There's another word I'm looking for. Of Malfeshnikor. You work at it for some time, and you're up in your room. Ray, he's kind of watching you carefully. He seems to be trying to learn from the things that you do. He kind of mimics you. He's got that little cloak. He wears like a tabard now over his front.
Not for yours.
What?
I was planning on killing your goblin.
I thought we were ROC.
Yes, OOC. Time out.
I thought we were creating something for my goblin to be my familiar.
You were making a compound.
I thought you meant the hide. I was like, no, I made something for her. Oh, yeah, that was our. So yeah.
So when do we do this?
It has to marinate.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, so back in character. All right, so as the morning wanes on, the brew begins to.
Do I still have a crowd
not
around
gonna
me?
end well.
What? With my goblin? Oh
I
no!
know it's not. I know what he has planned. It's just not gonna be good.
Plan something good yet.
I'm trying. I'm gonna plan something as best I can, but it's not up to me.
So, we. No, it is partially up to you.
Yeah.
So,
Plan something good.
the morning, the morning goes on. Pretty soon, half the tavern is inebriated. Cade's purse is getting lighter and lighter.
Arr! Are we singing?
Well, if you,
the pirates who only drink rum.
if you wish to sing, you
Or
can.
tell a story.
Once I finish my feast, if I finish it,
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
quite,
order
you're
the
quite,
half
you're
the
quite
tavern.
full but you do finish it. Yes.
I'm going to go upstairs and make sure clean on my armor, polish my swords and weapons and other miscellaneous.
Hey.
Good.
Oh.
I was gonna.
Woo.
Hey, Seekzilla! Thank you so much,
got
sir.
advantage.
Much appreciated.
Oh, hey, who did that for me?
Seekzilla gave Cade advantage, and that could.
Okay, so
Hey.
it's down to 100 is an advantage, so that's 2 advantages.
Okay, that's 2 advantages.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
Hey, and by the way, we only need 3 more followers to get our mini giveaway, and we'll be announcing what that mini giveaway is here in just a bit. But if you're watching right now and you aren't following, we got one question for you.
What
are you doing? All right, so let's do a little bit of a time forward here for the sake of our progress on the stream. So, what's that?
Cade,
No. Okay, go ahead. Like if you had something you were going to do, I didn't want to rush it. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got people around here.
Yeah, you have a pretty good sized crowd.
Oh my good people of Sandpoint, boy have I got a story to tell y'all. Did the people say anything?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you notice like you have their rapt attention.
Can
You've been
I
handing out-
can I make a perception check to see if I hear this?
Yeah, well, not yet, but let's just see what happens here.
Oh my! You should have seen it when we were up on this top.
What happened?
We encountered so many bad creatures and scary ghosts and lots
goblins.
of goblins.
I'm still done.
Yeah,
And
you just finished your plate.
you should have seen me, good man Solomon. This is why I'm buying in the best there is. At the end of our journey, we come across this horrible, horrible creature. Gonna kill us all. And with one, yes!
What kind of creature?
I don't know, he looked like an evil, scary cat out of hell! Arrgh!
A hell
Huge!
No. A demon.
Like a
It is a demon.
Demon cat out of hell!
Like a cat.
No! His head was this big!
He was as tall as the tavern, you see.
Aye!
This one.
Quick OOC, guys. How's the mic holding up Cade right now? Comment in the chat.
Yeah, let us know if there's
What
any
is
clips
Cade's
in the
sobriety
chat.
level at
All right.
this point in the morning?
Back in
Oh!
character.
Much 0%.
Have I noticed yet that she's
Roll me 20 for me.
I would fail a sobriety.
11, distant 21.
So, this demon cat that my good man Cade is.
No, you're not hearing this. There's, it's loud speech, but loud speech from Cade would not draw your attention. Cade is always loud.
This demon cat was as big as this tavern, right?
Bigger than this tavern! It was
Bigger.
humongous!
Oh, come on, you're pulling me leg.
No.
We have his head!
I have his head outside right now.
Prove it.
Let's go.
Bring it in here.
Yeah, go get him! Go
Let
get him!
everybody see it. Let us all see it then. If it's real, bring it in here.
I will. And I
So
go out
as
to
he
my...
leaves.
You see a couple of them. They start like they start kind of ribbing and elbowing each other, like
Oh,
they're
what if
nodding.
somebody stole the head?
You
Well,
got-
hopefully not. Just go get it.
You got a good like 15 people now that are seated around the bar.
All right.
Men and women of all ages.
I
You know,
go, wait, I'm still covered in blood.
No,
Aren't
you're
I?
not. I
No,
No,
she cleaned
she
you.
cleaned
Dang
you.
it. And then I go and I grab
So as he
Festival's
leaves,
head.
I actually started making my way back downstairs, just with my pouches and stuff, because I'm planning to go buy some things. So I
As
am
he-
coming down.
as he leaves to go get this head, my good fellow Solomon, with one swing of his sword, he sliced and killed that demon.
Stab.
you're not in that.
Hey,
I know.
I'm telling the story with great robustity.
Robustity? Did you really just say robustity?
I did. You know, I've been
hold
having
on.
a few things
Okay,
on rum.
that is going to be a clip because there is going to be a shirt made. All right.
Busted.
So with great robustity, he sliced that demon cat. But as the cat was fallen, he took one last flick of Solomon, and Solomon went flying through the air into a pit.
Okay,
And
this time Solomon, the door opens, and you see Solomon standing there. He's got this massive, still sopping
And you thought
head.
we were lying.
Ah! Like
Yeah.
he screams.
Yeah,
People kind of like, "Whoa, he did it!"
This is what was threatening Sandpoint, and
He,
I killed it with their help.
with one swing of
Okay,
his sword.
now you hear this. You come walking down the stairs, right as you see Solomon. You hear screams coming from downstairs.
Standing with just a dripping head in the doorway.
Yeah, and he's standing with just a dripping head in the doorway.
Solomon.
And that's
Maybe we cannot make Miko's life harder and take the bloody head out, please.
No.
clean it up with your spell. Hey,
There's
Look,
only
good
so
people
much I
of
can
Sandpoint.
Sandpoint people
The people within this tavern, at least.
within this tavern.
you really kill it with one blow?
Yes.
Little, a kid about
blow.
like 12 years old. He's getting closer than anyone else.
He was coming up to me. One of his paws raised. I deflected it. And with my beautiful sword, not the Miko's magical sword, but my new sword, I took it out and I stabbed him in his eye. That's why his eye's gouged out. And then, with one more blow, I turned around and cut him
That's right.
clean through.
You're a right bloody hero.
He's
am.
the hero. He's the hero of Sandpoint. Why do you think I dropped 8 silver on him?
to add a little more pizzazz to his storytelling,
Okay.
I'm gonna put my dancing lights around him to kind of give
Oh!
But it was not an easy fight. He almost killed me.
Okay, so you have no
It's in-
expectation, but as you're talking now, you see like glowing lights just start to kind of move around your head. You've seen these same lights before from Irda, but now they seem to be focused around you.
Solomon internally
It's magic! It's
questioning
magic!
his
Look!
sobriety. Is Ixon downstairs now? or-
Yeah, you see Ixon coming down the stairs right behind Irda.
Ah! My life was in danger.
Danger.
I-
Danger, we tell ya.
After I stabbed his eye and cut his head off, with one last reflex of his dying corpse, he smacked me into the pit of
Smacked
lava.
him. Clean smacked him.
But, but thankfully, my buddy Ixon, who's on the stairs over there, was there flying. He
Nixon!
flew and he saved my life.
The little boy, he's just like wrapped. His eyes are he can't. He's not looking at you. He's watching the blood that's still dropping out of the head that you're holding, and he looks over at you. He can fly too.
Yes,
He's got
How?
wings.
he's got wings that show up sometimes.
And with a swoosh of his
Ixon,
wings.
show him, Ixon.
Come on, Ixon.
Ixon, I'll give you 5 silver if you do it. Go.
I'm going to run
To
to the
go.
bottom of the stairs
No.
before he starts busting wings out on the stairs.
Irda hastens down the stairs.
Wait, little boy, look.
I walk into the center and I say,
All right, so Ixon comes and he kind of walks into the middle of the room now.
Little boy, come here.
What you want with me?
Do you want to touch the head? Do you wanna
Touch
see
the
it?
head.
Could I?
Yes.
It's not gonna bite.
I don't think so.
He reaches out. You see his hand is trembling. He kind of pulls it back the first time, like he thinks it's still gonna move.
You see Ray on top of my shoulder go, at him.
What was that?
I
He kind of jumps.
a little bit. I'm holding it and I'm just.
He lets out a yelp. You see him turn and run. Several of the other patrons that are around Cade, they all start laughing.
Puppet show.
But, good people of Sandpoint, the threat has been eliminated. Life is good. The ale is flowing so well right now through our
Arr.
veins.
He's a beautiful hero, isn't he?
I am.
The
Aren't
most
I,
beautiful.
people of Sandpoint? Let's hear it
But
from
the
me.
people of
Let's hear
Sandpoint.
it from me.
Huzzah! The
Okay,
beautiful hero!
roll d20 for me, please.
Rolls a 1. Everyone, boo! Tomatoes.
Oh!
I know. So yeah. So as you say this, you see there's kind of a smattering of half-hearted applause. People they just don't seem to know what to make of this. Like it's gone from entertaining to dubious to now just overwhelming. You see they're slowly just kind of almost dazed, just watching all that's going on.
Action speaks up. But the people of Sandpoint must know the truth.
The truth.
The truth.
What truth?
What truth?
Aren't you curious of what happened to Father Tobin?
But before this story begins, does anyone want to buy this?
Mania victim Cassie.
This kind of this looks like a sort of a working class man. He's got a nice, sort of 3-day growth on his face, dark thick hair. He looks over. What's Father Tobin got to do with any of this? God rest his soul.
The reason we went on this journey, and they're you, and every one of you, are the reason we had to go on this journey.
Indeed.
Me?
Yes.
People
What's your name?
of Sandpoint
The people of Sandpoint.
are the reason they brought their doom upon themselves.
But specifically this man.
No, not specifically this man. This man represents.
He
the
looks
power
very
of Sandpoint.
confused. He's looking back and forth at the two of you.
Your
like,
bitter hearts, and your name calling,
What?
And all.
and your judgment, and your lust.
We won them over.
Shh, shh, shh. Let him speak. I'm intrigued now.
Y'all are all acting drunk. Throw me off. Okay.
Arr,
Solomon is.
And I say, and your lust, and your eyes, and your whispers behind people's backs are the reason we had to go on this journey.
Ixon, you might be taking a step a little far, mate. He's looking a little frightened.
No, this is now. I'm not speaking to this man specifically, and he knows that. I'm speaking to everyone in this tavern. For Nualia, you all remember the beautiful Azmar that you all gazed upon
Okay,
with lustful eyes.
Say this.
Me, Kate, and I go up to Ixon and try and wrestle him.
you suddenly see you have like your two friends right
We
Hey,
pick them up on our
hey,
shoulders.
Come on,
Arr!
Like everybody's gotten quiet in the entire inn
Stop.
now.
They need to hear
It's
this.
like
Yeah,
the,
You're brought down.
the music
Mate.
has stopped, the drinking has stopped, the plates have stopped, everything is quiet.
Mate, the people are way too drunk for this.
No, they aren't. It is the middle of the day, and they
In
need
a
to know
tavern?
the truth.
Yeah, and Kate has bought
The
them
truth
all
of the
ale.
matter is, Nualia wanted to kill herself, but instead she found a darker light and turned to the demon lords. So she burned down
The temple.
the temple and left Father Tobin to die.
And
Faked her death.
You hear a voice from the top of the stairs. If these things are true, you should be speaking to Father Tobin, not my patrons. You turn and you see a Mako standing at the stairs with her hands on her
boy,
hip.
I leave.
Well, Mako, what if I told you these words from Nualia herself? That it was the people of Sandpoint.
I make no claim as to the veracity of your words. I am simply saying you're scaring the people. If these things are true, tell them to the sheriff.
Arr.
Why should I tell them to the sheriff?
in town?
Because he's the one that was investigating these deaths.
You kind of poured water.
He's the
on
one that
her.
hired you in the first place. Bring the news to him, not my patrons.
No, because the patrons must learn how to treat.
This is uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
You see, she just like.
Hey, how about another round of ale on me?
Perhaps we respect the owner of this establishment's wishes.
I thought you left.
I was coming down. I'm still.
Oh.
I haven't left yet.
No, because this establishment wouldn't even be here without our good
Mate.
friends.
Yes, but
Mate, hey.
I walk out.
Thank
You see Ixon.
goodness. Who wants some ale?
So, as you offer ale, you see slowly the patrons just begin kind of filing out of the Rusty Dragon. In moments, the inn is empty except for one old man who had drunk so much he's fallen over and passed out on the bar.
Poor old man. Can't handle it.
Ameko just kind of quietly walks back upstairs. All right, so in the intervening time now, over the next day or so, you had some different things that you wanted to do. So let's just quickly do that as kind of an OOC, so we can keep the game moving. So what are you doing?
Okay, so I had 3 things, I think, if I remember quickly. I wanted to restock my healer's kit, which, however, I don't remember how much that costs.
Yeah, you can use standard rates for that.
Okay, and I will.
That would be readily available in
It's in my
Sandpoint.
book. And then I wanted to go to the Temple of Serenray and take the holy symbol to the clerics there to return it to them, since we had found it.
Okay.
And then I also wanted to see about possibly either getting a better battle axe or possibly getting mine enchanted and a small dagger for hunting.
Okay. All right. So, in terms of returning the holy symbol, we will. You are able to do that when you return it to the temple. There is gratitude. You answer a few questions. And they offer in return to say prayers on your behalf. And I note this. So it's, again, since we're OOC for the moment, for our viewers, I do take notes on great roleplay moments, important things that players do, because those affect XP later. And so, as an example, I'm not going to roleplay her returning the holy symbol to the Temple of Serenay, because there's nothing about it that's specific to the story relevant, but it is a great roleplay action for her to take, so I'm noting that for future XP bonus. You're able to secure a standard dagger. You are unable to find any place in Sandpoint that can either enchant or provide you an enchanted axe.
Okay.
All right, what are you doing?
First, I'm going to try and find somebody who can, tell me more about the medallion.
So you're looking to find someone that can help you with identifying more information about this, okay?
Like what it is, why it was there, that sort of thing. Like basically the history of it.
Okay.
And then I am going to scout out the local youth to see if there's any
Excuse me?
Youth?
I'm sorry, what did you just
That
say?
sounded really bad.
What?
This is a PG-13 show here, so
let me finish the statement. Scout out the local youth to see if there's anybody that I think would be a good fit for the Order of the Dragon.
Oh, okay.
okay.
This was a...
All right, yeah, all right. So I think maybe next time just reverse that. On behalf of the Order of the Dragon, I begin looking at your local youth and my...
As I was saying it, I was like, that I should not have said it that way.
All right, Ixon, are you doing what you had indicated earlier you wanted to do?
Okay, so I'm doing multiple things. I am creating a cloak for myself. I am creating little flasks for Ray, and I am giving her goblin the potion, which I have concocted.
Okay, all right. So the cloak of Malfeshnakor's hide is in fact finished. We'll discuss any benefits or properties you get from that later. You're able to make small vials for Ray. Yes?
I just remembered. I am going to try and find somebody that would be interested in the head, or somewhere that I can store it. And then I want to take one of the malachite gems that I found in the chest and see if there's a blacksmith or something, or someone where I could get it encrusted into the pommel of my the bastard sword that I have.
Okay, all right, excellent. So let me make a couple notes here because we're going to take some of these things separately. But you've got... Oh, my pencil died. So you've got the head. All right, and then also the pommel of your sword. All right, so yeah, that actually is a service you would be able to find in Sandpoint. We'll talk about coin later. What are you doing, Cade?
Well, I have my masterwork cutlass. I don't think I need to fill anything. Unless I want to buy.
All right, so Cade spends a good portion. This is going to be the passage of about 2 or 3 days here in Sandpoint as this all is unfolding.
I need to refill my pickles.
Cade, you do in fact find a fresh stock of pickles. You also pickle your liver for about 2 to 3 days. Cade spends a good portion of that time intoxicated. I've already kind of mentioned what you were able to do. You do in fact find that you find there is someone that practices the restoration and taxidermy of various sorts of creatures. And you start to draw quite a bit of attention with this. No one has ever seen anything like it. And he agrees to perform this service for you in exchange for payment of 50 gold pieces. He tells you this will be quite an extensive process. This creature has clearly, even from the little bit of looking he does, it has resistances that are going to make the process difficult. And he asks you if you would like to pay for this to be done.
Nah. So here's the thing. That's a little expensive for this cat head. So I am not going to taxidermy it. Good sir, thank you.
Okay.
Good day.
All right. So we're gonna save the potion or the concoction.
I didn't know. I thought it was just one day, so I'm doing something else. I'm doing. I'm selling my 10 malachite gems to like a jewel dealer.
Okay.
Whatever.
Each of those gems was worth.
Ooh.
Each of those malachite gems is worth about 8 pieces of gold.
Oh.
That's
I
good.
would like to sell my malachite gems as well.
Oh, I will sell
The
mine.
remaining few.
All right. Anybody that has those.
Oh, do we know if those are for anything?
No, they're just gems.
Oh.
All right. So then.
And can I?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm creating out of the silver box, because you said it was like perfect for Ray size, a bed for Ray.
Okay.
And so like I'm creating like.
So you take the silver box that you found inside Thistletop inside the skull, right? You take that and you sort of fashion it for a small bed for Ray.
Yes.
Okay.
And then last thing, I go to the magic shop and I showed them the ring with the fist and the star.
So as you ask around, both of you, interestingly, you're asking sort of about your medallion. You're asking about your ring. The same name is brought to you. The name of one Brodert Quinn. He's a local who specializes both in history. He's a historian, and also quite effective with various sorts of artifacts and items. And you're told that he can be found typically hanging out in the Curious Goblin, which is a bookstore just 2 streets down.
You said
from
Brodert Quinn?
Brodert Quinn.
And the malachite is 8 pieces?
You want to go together?
Yes.
Alright, let's go.
Okay. So just the 2 of you, or would all of you like to go together? It's fine either way.
I would go to the bookstore.
It's at some point here during these sort of 2 to 3 day period. Okay. So you you head out the streets. You've continued to just draw quite a bit of attention. You notice that there is still wariness. What are you doing with your little friend while you're
I
through
hide
the
him
streets?
under my jacket.
All right, so you kind of keep it hidden. You see people smile at you as they walk by. You have clearly become...
That's why I was going to the bookstore. Researching. I was going to research the transformation process.
Okay. So you walk in the Curious Goblin, and you see it is in fact a pretty good-sized bookstore, 2 stories. You see several patrons walking around, and you do in fact see a man that fits the description that you were given of this Brodert Quinn, kind of a bookish-looking fellow in a robe, and he is sitting next to a counter where you can read books and look at materials that you have found inside the Curious Goblin. And so you see this fella here, and we'll share it with our viewers. And he looks up at you as you walk over to him. He puts down what looks like a dusty manuscript that he was holding.
And I say,
Yes? What can I do for you?
Do you know what this ring is?
Are you Broderick Quinn?
I am, but why are you disturbing me in the midst of my reading for such inane questions?
We were looking for somebody who might be able to help us determine some information about something, and we were both told that you were the person to speak to, and...
He sighs.
Can a man get no reading done anymore here?
My apologies.
What is it that you would have me look at? Here, quickly.
I took off the
I
medallion.
show him.
He like you're all thrusting things at him. He looks at both, and he suddenly gets way more interested in what you're holding. He snatches the medallion out of your hand. As he's looking at it,
Remarkable. Why, yes. Where did you come upon this?
In Thistletop.
In the forest?
Not in the forest, but up there.
Trying to sound like he knows it.
Well, you're not very forthcoming with information, are you? If you wish me to give you information, perhaps you should do the same.
We found it on Thistletop in the giant skull. Deep down.
The broken statue off the coast?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a statue.
Well,
Oh.
So it must be a
Large
huge statue
statue.
of the statue she was given.
This makes sense. It would be Thessalonian in nature. It's a Thessalonian artifact. The statue would be, and this is clearly a Sihedron rune.
What now?
This is it's a Sihedron rune. The seven-pointed star. It's part of the ancient Thessalonian rune.
Of course. How silly of me to have forgotten.
It's each one of these points of the seven star. It was originally intended to represent virtues, love and generosity. But the Thessalonians, I suspect, most fools think that 6,000-7,000 years ago they died out. I don't think so. I think much further than that. Their artisanry, their skills and arcane nature created a preservation of all that they left behind, which is, I think, baffled most historians. I suspect at least 10,000 years they died out.
It's a long time ago.
In any case, most of what you can read, they were overwhelmed and succumbed to vice instead of virtue. There was lust and greed and wrath, envy.
You see, Ixon looks very pleased at what the man is saying, and he says,
A man of similar intellect. It's been a while. Good to meet you.
So, does this Silic rune as
Silic? What?
I don't understand the word you said. It's above my intelligence.
Don't mock me, young man. Now listen, I said it's Sihedron, a Sihedron rune of the Thessalonian Empire. If you want my help, don't mock me. Did you say similar intellect?
Ooh!
I did.
We think highly of ourselves, don't we?
Oh, he does.
Let me see your bauble.
My what?
Your bauble.
Good sir.
Your trifle. Your
ring.
little
The ring.
jewelry.
Oh, you will be soon disappointed, because if I am unable to identify it, then it must be very powerful.
Good sir. So does the Sihedron rune have any powers or anything to it, or is it just a fancy piece of artistry?
Isn't that always your nature? Young people so impatient. You want powers with it. Knowledge is not sufficient for you. You wish it to do something like blink or bubble or protect you in some way. That it should be a plaything for your pleasure rather than a source of knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell him.
I don't
He
think
just
Now,
thinks he's
hopefully mine is
beautiful.
powerful.
I
because
don't-
I think yours is just artistry.
I don't think it needs to be a plaything, but I think it could be an important tool, and if not, then it's a cool piece of history.
Yo.
So,
You're so shallow.
It's a potato.
It has no powers. Powers? No powers. It's just it's an artifact of great relevance.
that is lovely to hear.
That's
I will
so
keep it
funny.
on me at all times. In
You
memory
can give it to a lovely woman someday.
He looks
a
at your
valuable
ring.
piece of art like this.
And as he stares at it for a moment, first he looks a bit smug. You see kind of a smile on his face, and then he looks surprised.
Did you find this in the same place?
Not
It's
in
similar.
the exact same place. I found this in a hidden room.
It was in the same.
In a silver
Statue.
box. And I show him the silver box.
Inside the Thessalonian statue.
Yes, if that's what it was.
Oh, and I say it came in this box.
It appears to be a simple ring of force shield, but this one, I believe, is a bit different. Here, give me your hand.
He places it on your finger, and as he does so, he kind of guides you as you clench your fist against the back side of the ring like this. Suddenly, you see a 7-pointed star of like what looks like a force shield, about the size of a buckler, pops out of the ring and hovers just like a foot in front of you. So it's like you have a shield about this big, but it's in the shape of a 7-pointed star.
Ray.
That is just utterly disappointing.
Ray, this is what you found. I say to him.
Just an absolute, utter nothing but disappointment. I have been lugging around this beautiful 7-pointed star.
Hey! Ethan, Evie, thank you so much. And let me remove one of my 2 alert boxes.
Did you read what he said?
No, and what did he say? He said, advantage to Irda for having the prettiest... Oh, hey. That is her husband, all right? So nobody else on the stream get an idea. He's not in the room here today. He's watching us from somewhere else.
You two seem to have come across quite remarkable items. Did you?
He looks over at you.
No, of course not. Did you find anything else of interest?
I did not, but I do have a question. Who is the statue of?
Yeah.
Good sir.
There is.
What if it's the same statue?
There is much debate on this. It's clearly of Thessalonian nature, but whether it's one of the original wizards of Thessalonica or not, we don't know.
Okay.
So inside the statue, there were many instances of just the same statue, like exact identical design, same pose and everything, all throughout the statue, of a guy with a halberd and the
Buckler?
no, was it a book? The
Good
book. So could it possibly just be a huge version of that?
Well, you used the word possible. Do you know what that word means?
Yes, it means yes.
So it's definitely possible, yes.
Probable. Is it probable?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Do you have
Mate,
any?
you're supposed to know these things.
Do you have any books, perhaps, in here on the history of Thessalonica?
There's not much writing on that, but let me check. Make yourselves comfortable. I'll look around.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Quinn,
Yes.
in the depths, this was like close to the very bottom that we reached in the statue. Behind a secret door that them two unlocked with their clever wits, mostly excellent.
Oh.
It was 95% me.
No.
We covered this
I
on the
bought
last
you a meal.
stream.
You give me more credit than
Mate,
that.
this is a story for another time. We go in, and on the right was this like great hall-looking thing, and then on the left we heard some noise, right?
Some talking.
So we go in this door, and we see this figure sitting on this throne. He was talking. He kept saying something about power and fighting back against some enemy nation. But he was a specter, but he wasn't like actually there. It was like a projection.
And it would repeat itself.
And it was just repeating over and over. And
Remarkable.
it wasn't physical. I could walk through it. Like I was sitting on the throne and it was talking with me there. And it looked like there were pews or something set up for people to watch. And he kept saying about how it was like his final...
An illusory projection that has lasted 10,000 years?
And I couldn't dispel it.
Well, I should think not.
And he was like looked like a king.
You clearly have seen much that I have no knowledge of. Perhaps it was one of the Runelords himself, or a Thessalonian mage.
Were the Thessalonian mages like really good mages? I'll take that eyebrow raise as a yes.
He turns and walks. He comes back a few minutes later, and he tells you that no such texts exist here. Perhaps in a larger city like Magnamar, but the Thessalonican, history and was so ancient. They don't have anything like that here. So pretty certain he has told you more than he intended to, and as much as he wishes to. He goes back to his tome and kind of waves his hand.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you, mate. And I'll toss a silver his way.
I ask him one thing. So
You're still here?
yes, I was able to create this goblin out of material. Now
He seemed like he'd never really looked up that high. He looks up, it catches his eye.
What is that?
it is my creation, so I would like for you to stop doubting me as an alchemist and as a person with mage powers. And I will say that now I have come across a new problem, but similar in nature, that instead of creating such a being, I am now trying to change one into a being. She has captured a goblin, or he has captured a goblin.
See, he kind of draws back.
That little thing?
And I wish to try to replicate it in some way, in fashion. Obviously not as cute and pretty as this. But
Cuter.
just to get the feralness and innate evil out of it.
Here, take it, the little kid.
I am not an alchemist. I don't know anything about these powers, but I see that you desire my approval. You have it. You are clearly one of puissance, but I am not an alchemist.
Oh, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. And I walk out.
Should we ask him about, just out of curiosity's sake, about Malfesticor?
Oh! Yes, last thing.
You hear this heavy sigh.
Please leave an old man alone.
Mate, how often is it you get travelers like us coming here with history that you do not know?
You see,
you have to
for the
know
first time, you see
so
like
much.
he seems to be unable to have a comeback. He kind of just nods.
Fair enough. What? What more would you know?
So, in the very depths of this statue, we encountered this room. We walked in. It was a walkway around, and then in the center was this pool of lava. And we walk in there, and there was nothing there. And then all of a sudden, this giant demon cat appears out of nowhere. I have its head. I cut it off. It had this just really thick, coarse hide. It was a struggle to cut. It could turn invisible.
I show it to him. I show him the hide.
And I have the head with me if that might help you.
He looks at it, he kind of reaches out and...
What you describe sounds almost abyssal. I don't study such things, but it seems unlikely to me you would have encountered such a thing and survived.
Doubt again.
The hero of Sandpoint once again. I killed it in one blow. I stabbed its eyeball and it exploded and died in pain. After millennia.
I'm certain you did.
He turns back to his book.
Oh my god. This man just irritates me.
I walk out. I show Ray the new bed I crafted for him. See.
Okay. He looks at it. He looks at you. He leaps inside and he pulls the lid shut. You hear like giggling inside.
I don't know why that makes you so happy. All right, I'm good. That's fine.
All right. So after your interesting encounter with Brodert, you finish some of the other items that you were working on.
They were saying like the.
Yeah, I know. I saw that earlier. No one had responded. We're OOC. No one had responded to Seekazilla at first, so I thought maybe he was the only one. But this did get mentioned last week, so I'm not sure. There seems to be, and I watched.
Match the bit rates,
I watched a restream, and there was such an imperceptible delay. Now I did up the audio to 48 hertz, so I may need to just drop that back down to 44. And in fact, I can try that here real quick to see if that makes a difference. It shouldn't stop me from doing it in stream. No, it does require a restart, so that won't help for now. So let's just continue on.
That guy was
3 followers away from a mini giveaway.
All right, so you make your way back, and it's now on that third night as you were able to find a blacksmith. That it was a fairly simple thing for them to put that on the pommel of your weapon, and they charged you 15 gold for that service. So you've picked up your weapon for this evening. You've had your concoction has in fact brewed long enough. Hey! Thank you, Seekazilla. Wow, that sounded extra nasty that time. Yeah, that was good. You have it ready. You haven't administered it to him yet.
Got an advantage.
Oh, advantage for the DM. Hey, bye, Seekzilla. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the advantage. I will use it well.
Don't you have like 7?
I have 5 now. Yeah.
No.
All right. So you.
I have 1.
It's on that third evening. You're back in the Rusty Dragon. You've recovered and rested from all of your travels. You're all fully healed. All of your weapons and armor are repaired. You have enjoyed celebrity with the citizens. It's been just a really good day to time to rest and recover and regain some sense of well-being. It's on that third night as Cade has been in his cups all day long that you see Sheriff Hemlock comes walking into the inn. As he comes in, you see he looks tired. You haven't seen him since you returned to Sandpoint, but you see that he looks like he's been up for a few nights, or perhaps something is bothering him. And as he walks in, he sees you, and he walks over towards your group, and he says, "Well met. I see you well, and I appreciate all you've done. May we speak in private?" And he kind of nods at a table over in the corner.
Sure.
Yes.
Sounds good, man.
Be leading the way, Sheriff.
He looks at you and you see he walks over to a table near the fire in the corner of the inn, and he says, please sit. I have much I need to speak to you of. I know you have done a great service for us here at Sandpoint. From the very moment of the dedication of our new cathedral and the attack by the goblins, I have seen nothing but honor and assistance, and it's why I come to you now. I must ask for your help again.
With what?
Last time you asked for us, we almost all died.
I very well almost died.
I know.
And last time, I must say, we did have the generosity of our hearts. But now, my work may require some
Processing
fee.
Well, I can't blame you. A man should not work for free, even a hero, such as you are.
It's spreading.
You see,
Game, recognize game.
you see, he pulls out a sack of coin. It's like heavy. He pulls out a second sack of coin. It's heavy. He says,
I get the greedy as alchemist. It's nice.
"One now, one when you solve." You see, there have been murders.
Here.
Not just murders. Terrible, terrible murders.
Oh,
Awful, some might say ritual murders. And one of them.
We didn't get rid of this crew.
We found this. And he pulls out a piece of paper. It's covered with blood. And you see it's a note. And it's addressed to Ixen. We're going to pause there and take a break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey, stay with us. We're going to have a giveaway here. I think we're getting very close. We have 257, I think, followers. Golly, 257. That is absolutely incredible. And
Tell your friends to follow us, you landlubbers.
for the giveaway, if we get to 260 today, this very, very cool sort of fairy dragon that I have here. He is kind of a unique guy, awesome looking, fully painted, slick mini. He goes at 260 followers, and we think we can get there. We just need 3 followers. So if you're watching and you haven't followed yet, we got one question for you.
What are you doing?
Hey, stick with us for just a few minutes, and while we're away, don't leave. Go get a friend. Go tell somebody else to watch us, and for your listening pleasure, you're going to hear the song that's been stuck in my head all week long. Cast a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty. Stay right with us.
Not all of it.
Yeah, but
Y'all need
I watched all of it.
Bloody Butcher Gerald over here.
All right. And welcome back, Blue Box fans.
did you
Thank you for being patient and sticking with us through our break. And we have had a really, really good stream so far. We're sitting right at 257 followers, I think. And we've gotten another sub today, which we're appreciative of. We had a good, solid, zero technical glitch stream, with the exception possibly of a bit of lag in audio, which I will be testing at the end of this stream today. So if you're on and you can hang out, you can help me do some testing here in a little bit. So we're going to wait for Ixon to get back down. And while we're waiting, I want to say thank you again. Welcome. I Will Be Heard. Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice you'd posted a picture. That's great. So I Will Be Heard was our winner last week. And or 2 weeks ago actually, and he got a Dragon Crafting Guild dice tray, which went out to him.
Huzzah!
And it is really cool, and we're getting a lot of excitement about those trays. So thank you. And I also want to again give a shout out to Two Dungeon Masters. Two Dungeon Masters. They are a podcast that is really repping the D&D community and helping spread the good news of the game and the community. And if you would, for me, 2DMs, I don't know if it's Brett or Rory or which one of you's in, but go ahead and post a link to your podcast, if you would. Make sure people know how to find you. And as soon as Ixon gets back down here, we're going to restart. But yeah, follow and check out 2DMs. The Ukador stream, or Fabled 42, they have one on Wednesday night, and then the Monday night is the Origins of Ukador. That's the one that I, DM Neuromancer, am playing. Of course, I'm not playing DM Neuromancer. I'm playing Aiden Tearsworn of Easier, sworn upon the peaks of the Bleakening. And Aiden is a fun paladin in the Origins of Ukador campaign. We're part of Group 2, so we play once every month or so. So I think I'm up in 2 weeks. I'll make sure I put that on our Instagram channel as well. But all the Fabled 42 stuff is good. And hey, Rory, glad to know it's you. Thanks so much. And yeah, go ahead and again, post your your stuff and a link to your podcast here for us. And yeah, we'll show everybody there is the inn. Let's get some better lighting, not for me, but for the inn. You can see our glowing tables. That is the Rusty Dragon. And, you know, I'm kind of playing with camera settings and getting our different DM battle cams kind of working a little bit better. But I think it's been pretty solid today. And good. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to come back to our scene in the inn. All right. So when we concluded, you had seen Sheriff Hemlock, oops, wrong one, who you had not seen in some time, comes into the inn, and he pulls you aside to kind of a more private table. And as he does so, he kind of takes on a hushed tone, and he begins to describe to you something that has happened recently. He tells you that, in fact, there have been murders. And he says, not just any murders. He uses the phrase ritual murders. And then the last thing that he mentioned was that on one of the bodies that they had recently found, there was a note that was pinned.
Sorry.
And it was addressed to Ixon.
Ooh. I asked for it. May I see?
What kind of trouble are you getting us into?
He says, yes, one moment. Let me explain first. He says, it was just last night, and this is not the first murder, and I am worried because I don't want people recalling.
How many murders have there been?
By my count now, there are 5 dead.
And they all have the same,
Since we last left?
In the last 3 days.
Oh.
So the first one was 3 days ago?
As nearly as we can tell. Let me finish. So, last night we discovered at the lumber mill, there was the body of Hasker. He was one of the lumber mill workers, along with Catherine. it's not good. I again thank you for what you've done to help us so far, but I am afraid that if this situation grows, the people of Sandpoint will recall the late unpleasantness. You've heard of this time when Chopper committed a string of murders that went unrequited or unpunished because he took his own life. Now we have another murder in our midst, and I cannot have the town fearing. I would keep this as discreet as possible.
What about these murders makes you think that they're done by the same person? What is the ritual nature of them?
Well, hey, thank you, Camelise. And that's for Cade, so we have advantage for Cade.
Arr, thank you, Camel.
He says, at the sawmill last night, the two victims were in gruesome shape. The bodies were discovered by a man, Ibn Thorn. Ibn was one of the workers with Hasker. He worked the night shift at the mill. When he found the bodies, by the time I arrived, there was a crowd of gawkers watching the scene. I got my men stationed still at the mill, and it's locked down, but the thing that bothers me isn't that there are two dead bodies, it's that it's the second set of murders we've had in the last 3 days.
Is there man, woman, or mixed?
The first 3 men were found in a warehouse on the side of town. The sawmill last night, it was Hasker and Katarine. A man and woman found by Ebor.
Are they all any age similarities or anything like that? Like physical features, hair color, or anything?
None that I've been able to note. But there is, of course, as I said, this letter. And I'm afraid it appears that the murderer knows one of you particularly well. As he looks at Ixon, he hands you the note. And you see the note says, we have spoken of, so it says, to Ixon, we have spoken of this before, my master. It now begins.
They don't see this, right?
Who? Well, no, he's handed it to you, yeah. So yeah.
Okay. No,
It now be.
this out loud.
Well, it's not be it. So just for the stream, for the audience, right? So it now begins. Join the pack, and it will end. And it's signed, Your Lordship. So you see,
we
no,
don't-
you just see Ixon staring at a note. Obviously, you're all very curious.
Arr, what does the note say, Ixon? Can we all read it?
No, you cannot. It is
Why?
for me and for me alone.
But we are a group, a family of friends, a circle. We fought side by side, killed the enemies. Share us the note.
Wait, I read it again. What did it say exactly? This is confusing.
All right. So the note, it's written in a scrawling hand. It's it looks shaky and like whoever wrote it was highly emotional. And it said, "We have spoken of this before, my master. Now it begins. Join the pack, and it will end. Your lordship." So you see Ixon looks at the note again.
Can't tell if it's a woman's or man's handwriting. I know who it is.
I know who's doing this.
How do you know that?
You can't tell by looking at the
Alright,
handwriting.
let's just read the note.
I know who it is.
Let's
Who is
read
it?
the note.
What was her name? The paladin chick. Or woman.
The mage?
No. What was the paladin's name?
Oh,
The one who killed your friend?
Yes. The one who killed Dobin.
Oh,
And-
Dobin?
Hemlock looks at you. The one that was with you before?
Yes.
Arathi?
Arathi.
Oh!
Arathi.
That's most people are forgettable to you, Ixon.
why do you think it's her?
I have a feeling.
So you don't know that it's her? You think?
What?
Can we read the note?
I don't know if I want.
I agree. Let's read the note.
I agree.
I read the note.
All right, so he reads the note out loud to you, and so he reads it in the voice of Ixen and says, "We have spoken of this before, my master. Now it begins. Join the pack, and it will end. Your lordship." And you see it's addressed to Ixen.
Join the pack.
What pack?
You've spoken of murders before with this person?
Probably.
Look at him.
I speak of murders a lot.
Kill the goblin. Let it die.
I know.
Although I am unaware of who this particular person
Wait.
is.
Sheriff Hemlock sits up straight. He sees a tall, he's a pretty burly man. What is that you have around your neck?
Oh, a bauble from a forgotten age. Not forgotten, but still remembered, but from a very long time ago.
Let me see.
Why is everyone so demanding with my jewelry? Here you are, good sir.
He holds the amulet,
Obviously, one of them was wearing it.
which again for the viewers, we'll let you take a quick look so you know what we're talking about here. So he holds up, he looks at the amulet, he says, "That's it. That's the symbol that was carved in the Hasker's chest."
Carved into.
I carved
like,
it.
not just.
It's Solomon!
Yes, yeah, you caught me, guys.
It's him,
Ah, it's
Sheriff.
me.
Get him.
He's been with us the whole time.
This is no time for levity.
I know.
I know
Don't mind
it's-
him.
I know it's none of you.
He's different.
Clearly this was meant to frame you.
So, it's somebody that knows about,
The Thessalonians.
yes, and the symbol.
The Thassa what?
It's a.
That's what this symbol
Yeah,
is.
they're really old people and they're all dead.
Old people.
No, they were an ancient.
Could it be somebody
They
we
were an ancient
know
race
around
of
here?
people.
The mage. Oh, Quinn?
They lived
Broderick?
about.
What? No, I couldn't.
They lived thousands
No.
of years
What if
ago.
it's... Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Good sheriff.
Who had a magic sword? What if it's a Miko?
Good sheriff.
Yes.
While we were down in Thistletop in the depths, we encountered this mage woman, who, yes,
It is a Mako.
Huh?
so,
What? She's over. She's staying at the bar. She hears her name.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Pretty loud.
how beautiful.
We love you,
She-
Miko.
You're
More
beautiful.
rum!
She
More
looks.
rum!
She looks over. Did you need something?
Rum, please! And some of that hearty stew. Hot, steaming stew again.
She,
What about
she looks at you.
I think
Am I a
so.
barmaid now?
No.
No, you're the best around here. You just are so beautiful when you walk.
Our apologies.
She shakes her head and she goes back to what
He
she's
just
doing.
had too much to
So-
drink, as usual.
But we encountered this mage woman, and I believe she would. The way I don't remember her name. The
and
one in Thistletop that we all were talking to, and we're like, oh no, Suto's not dead. No.
No, the woman that
In
we
the
met
room.
with the in the room with the desks and everything.
Yeah, I'm not helping you. You guys have to remember
Wait, in
this
the
stuff.
room with the desk?
Yes.
Yeah.
there
Was I,
is.
was I gone for this
Yes.
No.
I think
Yeah,
so.
you might. That might have been the one you missed with your surgery. Yep.
Yep.
Let's see, pretty sure.
Hemlock says, "Look, it's of no matter. I have already said thank you. I can't imagine what you endured. Thassalanasa
So
says,
what?
No,
do
no,
we
no.
have anything to go on except this letter?
I grabbed the bag.
What bag? Which one?
The
bag.
coin?
You snatch one of the bags from him. He looks at
That's
you.
for all of us, Sixon.
I know.
The second on completion. He puts it away. He
So-
says,
How much is in this bag?
He
Dead or
says-
alive?
I don't know what you speak. If you mean the one that committed these murders, I don't care. But I'm telling you, the bodies are still at the sawmill. You probably should look there. I do have Ibn Thorn in my garrison. He is my only suspect at this point, although I can't imagine it's him. I also have Venvinder. Ven was the father of Katarine and Shanda.
I'm going to try something.
Solomon, real quick here. So, because it's been so long and there was a bit of confusion here months ago with the start of this campaign, you recognize the name Ben Binder. That's the father of the girl that you went down into the basement when she tried to seduce you.
Oh.
So that's the girl that died.
she apparently had a sister. Katerine. Same father.
Snap.
Ooh.
Stalin the player.
If you wish to speak to them, they're in the garrison. But I would suggest, perhaps before the crowd overwhelms and disturbs evidence, the sawmill would be...
We need to head there now.
I agree.
Yes.
We go out and get on our horses.
Good sheriff. How much exactly is this payment? Roughly.
I don't trust him.
There's 250 gold pieces in that sack.
Oh!
There's another 250. I know you're heroes, but
My ships are coming. My
I've been
ships
here.
are coming.
We'll take care of it.
Yes. Hey, we destroyed an evil
Okay.
cat. We can do this.
I do think we should ask questions of these people. Maybe they saw something we did not realize.
We head to the sun.
I think we should go to the sawmill first. Just
I go to Miko.
all right. You see, Kate suddenly stands up, walks away from all of you. Ixon, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ameko's. She's at the counter of the bar. She looks up. Yes,
I
Ixon.
begin tapping.
She seems a little more.
I begin tapping my fingers like this.
Can I help you?
What do you do in your free time outside of the inn?
This is the worst possible person.
She seems confused at this point. She says, "As you know, I used to adventure. I claim many of the trophies on these walls, but now my time is mostly tied up in running this inn and also in the affairs of my father's estate. Since he has died and my brother has died, only I remain to manage the estate."
Where's this estate at?
Well, the glass works still belong to me now, and they're not reopened yet. I don't know what to do. It's where my father died. It's where you slew my brother. No fault of yours.
Actually, no, I didn't. So don't put that on me. That was the evil paladin's doing.
In any case, I manage our affairs as best I can, and I run this inn. That's all I have time for.
I tech lies.
Sense motive.
Yes.
All right. What's your sense motive bonus, please? Quick OOC. This is a great example. So sense motive, I think, is one that you clearly have to roll as a DM. If you, cause I know we like letting players roll, and I want players to roll. It's fun. Players like to roll dice. But for example, if he were to roll a 1 on a sense motive, that's not just a failure. I think that should be a fumble of a sense. He would be deceived by that. Well, if he rolls the 1 himself, no matter what I tell him, he knows it's not right.
But then now that so then it takes it all out of my hands because I can't be sure either way if like I'm right or I'm wrong. Like,
Well, you
if
can't,
I roll
but
a
it's-
20, I should be able to know if I'm right. You know what I'm saying? Like that should give me the security of yes, I cracked the case. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But would you ever know that? Like, if you think about that, like if you're actually in real life, you
That's
might
the point
feel
of a 20.
certain.
That's the point of a
No,
20.
the
The
20
point of a 20 is just like certain.
Okay, so that's true, but the point of the 20 from a DM's perspective would be I'd give you something extra. So if I roll the 20, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you something extra. So, like, there's still a fair adjudication that occurs, but the fear of you knowing you failed, when in fact a failure would mean you probably don't know you failed, is important.
+7.
+7 on your sense motive. All right.
We'll sniff this motive out.
You have always felt a sense of confidence in Sheriff Hemlock. You sense no guile in him.
No,
Yeah.
this is of a maker.
Oh, I'm sorry, of Ameko. Yeah, so she seems genuinely confused, and you do feel the sense that she's concerned you're hitting on her.
Concerned. So if I was, I'm just kidding. I'll
Is it-
be watching you.
Is it
Not in a
nighttime?
Okay.
What time of day is it right
So it was evening. So like this is
that's
the,
what I thought.
the evening of the third day you've been back in Sandpoint.
Okay. We going? Do you want to go tonight or
Yes.
tomorrow?
I think night would be best.
I checked the bag of gold, and I see if there's anything extra in there.
'Kay.
Or maybe a something to spy on us, just in case.
All right. So you look through the bag of gold.
And I split it evenly. What's 250 divided by 4? Quick.
Something weird. It's like 6.5.
So you go through the bag.
62.5.
You find there is nothing that you can see that's unusual, and there's enough for about 62 gold each, with a couple left over.
Okay. I take 66 and give them all 62. Let's see. There you go.
Quality.
Wait a minute.
We all know he took a little bit extra for himself.
Yeah.
The greasy little one.
And now back to where I was before I bought
He took a few for his little sidekick.
Ameko watches you as you walk away with the sack. You're seeing more of a sort of a look of concern on her face than you've seen from her before. She's no longer just openly friendly as she was. She's now kind of suspicious.
As she should be.
Well, if we are going
What
to
if he's the murderer?
Hey.
if we are going to go and start investigating this, I will need a few minutes. I'm going because I'm currently not wearing all of my armor. I'm wearing the gown that we found, and like my hair is all down.
And looking quite resplendent in your
I've been
gown.
relaxing. So
Right, Ethan, Evie?
And so I'm going to run upstairs and go start putting my
Oh,
armor
so
on
can
and
I?
getting ready.
So do I know what the ring does now? Like.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's Ring of Force shield. You can look it up.
Okay.
It does what a normal Ring of Force shield does, but its manifestation is different. It's this 7-pointed star in terms of when it pops up.
Excellent. Do you have the potion ready for Macabre?
Yes, I do actually.
Do I need to be in its presence when we give it to him?
Yes, you do.
Oh.
You actually have to take a sip yourself
What?
and then spit it back in.
Okay. So it'll have a little bit of essence in it.
Yes.
Oh.
Precisely.
Okay, so you go back up, you strap your armor on. You can hear the sounds of the inn. Everything is normalized now. The bitten child is forgotten. It's clear none of these people have heard about the murders, and just your presence seems to be comforting. There's a jolliness, a happiness in the inn. Everyone is confident that Cade is going to buy them ale. So it's been 3 days now. Rum and ale. Are you buying everyone rum?
Mm-hmm.
Are you buying it?
Oh, you're buying. Okay, so.
Oh, wait.
Are you?
Because I had said ales, or I thought you were buying them. So if you're buying everyone rum, that would be more expensive than the ale.
Oh, then we keep it an ale.
Run for Kate.
All right, so I'm gonna take a little
I only get the best of the rum.
DM adjudication here. It's been 2 straight days of drinking and taverning and wenching. Take 3 gold pieces out of your inventory, Cade. You've been
These
quite
people
generous.
better love me.
You're quite popular. You're a popular figure for certain.
More copper for the stables.
I buy me love.
All right, so you come back downstairs. You see Cade is still carousing. As always, he's got several people, both men and women. Cade's a popular individual. They're enjoying and imbibing.
No.
Ray proudly sports the tabard, and he seems to be more excited now that you have something similar on your own back. So you see Ixon has this cloak of Malfeshnikor on his back.
What does that do? Can I identify it?
I'll tell you later. It's not important. I'll tell you. It's if it becomes important. So he's got that on his back, and you see Ray on his shoulder has a similar cloak sitting on his front as he comes
Oh,
down.
don't y'all look so cute?
Take a swig. Swish it around in your mouth and then spit it back in. Now give it to the guy.
No.
Sheriff Hemlock looks. Do you think maybe you should?
I didn't know we were still in the inn. I
Yeah.
thought we walked out.
Oh, did you? No,
Oh.
no.
No, we
I-
should go to the room then. Come to the room.
Oh, I thought we were going to the people.
We need to take care of this.
Oh, okay.
I'm just listening and seeing if any of the townsfolk are saying anything
I'll be right back.
worth notice.
Alright, I'll go up to the room with him.
All right. So as you're listening, Sheriff Hemlock looks at you and he says, "I'm not sure what's going on with those two, but I trust and I thank you for your aid. If there's anything more I can do, I'll be at the garrison.
Not here.
All right. If there's anything more, I'll be at the garrison. He turns, he pushes back from the table. He walks out. You see there's a kind of a stoop to his shoulders. This is clearly burdening him, all that he's dealing with. You get up to the room, and you see Ixen pulls out this potion. Describe the potion for us.
It's very yellowish green.
What is this exactly going to do to my poor little guy?
It's either going to heal him or kill him.
Heal
One of
him?
the two.
What do you mean heal?
Heal as in he is a goblin which is able to be domesticated
Oh.
and tamed by you and even take the look of a human.
Oh.
Almost. Not really. He'll still be very ugly, but at least he will be able to be in this party, as I will not allow it as his current state. So
Alright, well,
I mix it up one more time, and then
we're going to have to roll the dice on this one.
Yes, and then I come up behind him, and I come up behind
I
the
take out
goblin,
the gun.
and I smack him on the back of the head to knock him out, and then I shove the...
Okay.
So you see Ixen walks over. He smacks your goblin
No,
infant.
with the hilt of my sword, just
Oh.
to, which is
He's
to
a
knock him
little
out.
baby.
he will not.
He falls to the ground. Like
Oh.
you see a little bit of blood on the back of his head.
I think that was a little bit uncomfortable.
And then I
You
shove
don't
it.
seem that actually upset.
I shove it down his throat.
Okay, so you see Ixen, after smacking your goblin infant to the ground, flips him over, takes this noxious-looking potion, and shoves it down his throat, coaxes.
I think he would have drunk it all right.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He would have spit it out.
All right, so remind me again what's in it.
Okay.
All the various
So-
regions you've concocted.
So I put some of her hair in it. I pricked Ray's hand. Remember to put his
Right.
blood inside of it. What else did I put in it? I put a bunch of stuff in it last time. I forgot what I did. Her spittle, obviously, from the thing. Oh.
You had referenced some hair from the pelt of Marfleshnikor.
Oh.
Why?
Yeah.
Malfeshnikor's evil.
No, I didn't. I didn't put any hair from Malfeshnikor.
You said it, and I think you pulled away from it at the last second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been a dreadful mistake.
What else did I do?
Wasn't there some blood from the actual baby goblin too?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Took some blood from him as well. And then that's it, I think. And then just some potion stuff, you know? Put some cure light wounds in there just in case.
All right, so you administer this potion in somewhat. Seekazilla, that's the best comment of the night. Mountain Dew, hair, a dead rat, and some dirt. So you shove it down his throat, and you see, at first nothing happens, and then the little body, the little tiny green helpless body with a trickle of blood coming out of the back of his head. He
Oh, I
starts,
start praying. Oh, little goblin, please.
Cade is praying.
In desperate times, call for desperate measures.
You see the goblin starts shaking.
Oh, little buddy, come on.
As he's shaking, you see his whole body trembles and starts convulsing. You see boils start popping up on
my
his
gosh!
skin,
What did you do to
all
him,
over
Ixen?
his face, and he starts thrashing.
Oh, come now.
Oh no.
Really?
He rolled a 20, we're good.
Did
Yes!
You,
We're gonna have another goblin in the group! No, maybe not.
did you kill my... I'm gonna be so mad.
He took a picture of it to prove it.
You see, suddenly Cade's face pops out on one part of the goblin's forehead.
Oh my gosh.
And then you see a tooth shoots out another side of the goblin. And then you see
I
a
stab it in
goblin
the neck.
ear.
I stab it in
And
the
then
neck.
Ixen steps forward
Really?
and stabs it in the neck.
I'm sorry. It was unpredictable.
It was a dangerous thing to do to begin with.
And then you
And
rolled
there's
a
the
1.
DMs.
Boo on the DM! Boo on the DM!
I didn't make that potion.
Boo! It is not destined for Cade to have a goblin, that's for sure.
The body just lies
What do
limp
you
on the
think
floor
you've
now.
seen it all? I just saw your face pop out of his forehead.
You're the worst alchemist ever!
I would disagree.
And I slam out of the room. I don't want to hear your stuff.
I asked Ray what he thinks of it just went on.
You turn, you look at Ray, and as you're talking to Ray, you see Ray's eyes go wide. Both of you roll d20.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
Oh, we're about to get
11. What the heck?
2.
You see the goblin that he stabbed, it flips over suddenly. It now has 3 faces of Cade coming out the side of its head. It's grown about double its size.
I
so
take
it's
my
now
sword! I have an
stabbed him
advantage!
in the neck.
I have this.
I stabbed him in
And
the neck
you
just
see,
to avoid
you
it.
see blood is still like pouring. It's undead. It leaps
I stab
towards
in the
you.
head!
The goblin.
I do have uncountering.
So you had an 11,
Yeah.
and you had a what?
11. I had
Oh, you
11.
both had 11.
You had 11 too? You had 2.
No, I did 2. Sorry.
Since I'm
Oh, 2.
upstairs putting on my armor, can I hear all this?
Roll d20 for me.
No, my
Since I said I was listening.
7.
Yeah, you suddenly hear a commotion.
Okay. So I'm
You
going
you hear
to-
Cade yell.
I'm gonna come out and go towards the sound of the commotion.
All right.
I'll buy me another ale.
The goblin leaps toward Ixon, and you see like each of the Cade faces. They look necrotic now, and the eyes are like white
And I
as
don't
it
care
leaps
if you
forward.
get
This is wonderful. Look at what I've created.
It latches onto your leg, and you see 2 different pieces of 2 different sets of teeth bite into your leg. You take 3 points of damage. This thing is now clinging to Ixon's leg. You see, even as it's holding, like another arm pops out.
I take my dagger and stab it in the head.
Roll to hit.
Oh my gosh.
Probably did.
6 plus. Where's my stuff? Well, my dagger's plus 4, 10.
Yeah,
No,
so
it
you
can't-
hit.
It can't be.
No, you got to be higher than that.
Oh.
It's gotta be higher. It's a +3 dagger,
Well, she hasn't upped her skills since she leveled up.
and you're at 5th level, so that would be
I'm
plus
at
8.
6th level.
Oh, so that'd be +9.
Oh.
Yeah, either way, it's a hit.
Oh, okay.
D8 +3.
That's a 10.
No, +3 plus. So +6. 11.
The goblin.
11.
So 11 points of damage. You slam your blade into it.
I stabbed it in the head with my dagger.
Yeah, I know. You slam your blade into it. It sticks right in the back of the skull. Even as it hits, you see right where you hit it, blood spurts out, and then another face like yours pops out of the back of the skull. You're staring at your own
Whoa!
face now in the back of this goblin skull.
This is terrifying.
What are you doing, Ixon?
I'm kind of just in awe of what I've created, and a smile comes across my face. And then this is a predicament. I do a shocking grasp one on the one that's on me.
You reach out your hand, shocking grasp, electricity. What's the DC?
Let me see. Hold on. There's no save or no spell resistance. It's just.
Well, then do you roll to hit?
What?
It has to be
No.
one. You have to either roll to hit. There's no automatic hit, no
No,
save.
it's like magic missile. It's basically
Oh,
magic
okay.
missile. It functions as magic.
There's no like a touch to hit.
No.
Okay, what's the damage then?
You get 3 missiles per caster level. It says a magic missile wand is what I have. So it's not shocking grasp wand.
Okay.
So then, okay, so it's 1d4 plus 2 missiles above first level. So it's 3d4.
3d4 plus 1 each, right?
Yeah. For magic missile.
Okay. So you see these missiles come forth
3,
from Ixon.
4, 6 plus
3 is 9 points.
As they hit, you see little faces start to pop up, but each one, it's too fast, it's too quick.
Bite him some more!
It falls to the
Cave
floor.
goblin!
Thunk, and as it dies, you see it starts twisting and writhing on the ground. It flips over and over and over again. It's flipping green blood all over the room. When it finally stops, you see all of the boils and the faces and everything begin to recede, and it's just the body of this dead little goblin baby with burns and cuts all in its body lying limp on the ground.
Well,
You need to go to alchemy school!
Power.
Pronto!
And I burst into the room!
You see Irda comes bursting into the room.
Arr, you're a bit too late, Irda.
What is all this
He's a terrible alchemist.
You
Just
see
kinda
like
look around
green
at the
blood
room.
flipped all over the walls. You see that Ixon is bleeding
He
from his
killed
leg.
me, goblin!
What in the world happened to you?
Well, I'm far more powerful, and I honestly scare myself now.
And
Because
I'm going to
how
do
powerful
a few
I am.
casts of prestidigitation to clean up the room. We are
Please.
really bad guests. Like, really bad guests.
So you
I'm included in that.
you see you hear like some footsteps coming up the stairs. Clearly the ruckus has attracted some attention from down below. Irda, you cast your prestidigitation, and suddenly like all the green, just the blood is all gone. Now you just have the dead body of the creature, and Ixon still bleeding.
No ticking. I think Ray, your blood is very powerful. That's what I think. Messed it up.
I'm
Should've
glad
done
he
that.
got you.
Well, it didn't hurt that bad. It felt like this, and I pinch you. Pinch you.
I punch him.
Ow! You should have done it in person.
All right, so a couple of patrons walk in. Ameko is standing in the doorway. What have you done in my inn now? She kind of looks over. She sees the body of the goblin dead on the ground.
Arr, he killed me, goblin. He's the worst alchemist ever. Don't trust him with potions.
She just shakes her head and turns and walks away.
I'm gonna cure that once on Ixon.
No! Let him suffer!
I have no.
No! Don't waste it.
No!
Irda steps forward and places a hand on Ixon. You feel healing.
Wasted! Wasted healing!
Wasted. Yeah, I was thinking
Hey, by the way, 3 more followers, and we have a mini giveaway today. We're going to be done here pretty quickly, but thank you for all of you that are watching us right now. We're at 257, 266, 260 gives a big mini giveaway. If you're watching right now and you haven't followed right now, we got one question. What are you doing? Ameko walks away. You're now back in the room.
Did Amiko walk back down to the bar where I'm at?
Yeah, you did. You saw her go upstairs. She investigated. You see, when she walks back down, her head is just kind of, it's hung, shaking.
As she walks by, I handed. Let's see, how generous am I feeling?
No, you're not throwing her. But oh, wrong move, bud. Wrong
Give her a
move.
malachite
I'll
gem.
throw her 2 gold. Just for the commotion caused by my.
You hand her 2 gold. She says, "What is this for?"
It's for my compatriots who are very terrible guests.
I'll make you a deal. Solomon,
Yes.
keep your money. She flips the coins back at you. Control your friends. She walks behind the bar.
I didn't say friends.
I'll tell you.
He did say compatriots.
I'll tell you what, kid.
And I go upstairs.
What are you gonna tell me, Ixon?
You cannot deny what was just displayed.
It was
I
terrifying.
basically created
A monster.
a goblicade hydra.
It was terrifying.
It was amazing. And
Arr, it
I
was
would
not
say-
what I wanted at
I
all.
will tell you something else. I do not trust Sheriff Hemlock.
Why do you not trust the sheriff?
Are they in here?
Yeah, she is. He's not.
Literally said I burst into the room.
Feeling on my way upstairs. Slowly.
I have a bad feeling. I sensed dishonesty in him.
As much as you trust your potions.
Yes. Okay. That's the only one that's ever gone bad. But with failure comes success. So So we must fail.
With failure comes success. I'm unfamiliar with this saying.
This is the words of my alchemical instructor.
Or you.
What?
Did you make it up?
No.
I've heard we learn from our failures, but success, no.
With failure comes success. I failed right there, but I now have a very powerful potion that I know.
Maybe.
So I failed in this instance.
Do I have a goblin that is my friend?
No, but I can do that to
I
other
didn't
goblins
even
now.
get to name him yet.
That's good.
The second goblin gone nameless. That's died.
Maybe you should try, getting a parrot. That's a parrot. Instead of...
Arr! I
Instead
would
of
love
a goblin.
a parrot, but have you seen one around here, mate?
Why are you trying to get feral beasts? Why not try to get a cat? I've seen cats everywhere. Strange.
Cats are terrible.
You don't.
They keep rats away. They're
Better than a
great.
goblin.
They are not loyal pets.
They
Are
are very
goblins?
loyal.
Oh, he was loyal to me.
He was
He was
loyal
a
to
baby.
you because you fed him.
Pickles.
Yes. Why not just get a pickle? I can draw little.
No, your potion was supposed to make him my friend.
All right, Solomon, what are you doing downstairs?
He said he was
Going
coming up.
Oh, you're coming up. All right, you hear arguing about pickles and hydras and strange, and you hear a heavy sigh from Irda.
Look, I don't know what just happened in here. I'd see a
Something
dead
you
body.
could
Nothing
never
good.
wrap your around.
I don't really care. We need to leave. Go to the mills and leave Amiko alone.
I say you all go to the mills, and I follow Sheriff Hemlock.
I don't think it's wise
We
to
never
split up
split
at
up.
night.
If you're a part of this group, you go with us.
You also know Sheriff Hemlock left about 8-10 minutes ago. And he told you where he was going.
Yeah, he said he's going back to the garrison anyways. And we're going there after we go to the mills.
Aye.
Yes,
To go
because that's
talk
where
with Ven and the other people.
Let's go.
All right, so you leave the inn, and you walk out in the night. As you walk through the evening moonlit area of Sandpoint, don't adjust your cameras, viewers. You are in fact looking at a moonlit scene. You can even hear a bit of a commotion off in the distance. You walk past the closed glassworks, which bring many memories for you. And as you get closer to the river, the Turandok River, you know the lumber mill, the sawmill, is right on the edge of that river. As you approach it, you can hear the sound of the river in the background. You see, and this of course is a daytime shot here, but it'll give you the idea at least of how it's set. You see that the mill is right on the edge of the Turandok River. A giant water wheel captures the power of the river as it flows through and pulls something that it does inside the mill. You see that there is a crowd that is gathered outside of the mill. People are standing around, and there seems to be probably 15-20 people all standing around outside the mill, buzzing and talking and looking inside. There's a dim light that actually burns inside the mill itself.
Just for future reference, I now have a note of the ingredients to concoct a Goblicade Hydra potion, which I will begin.
Couldn't you
working
make
on.
it with any of us?
What?
Like, not instead of a Goblicade, like a Goblet Yurda or Goblet Solomon?
Probably, but I don't know. I mean, I could, but
That's
that's,
all
just the
I was
name of the name of
It's a
the potion.
goblicade.
A Goblicade Hydra. So,
People
Yes,
are all
we,
kind of standing around.
Make
Make way, people, good people.
A woman
Here's-
looks. Oh, it's the Sandpoint heroes. You're the Sandpoint heroes. You aided us against the goblins.
You're right.
Are you here to find out what happened inside there?
Aye, we are. So we need you to make way so we can.
We need y'all to go home right now.
Does anybody?
Do we have to?
Unless you work at the mill, leave.
Roll d20.
Do I add anything?
Let's roll d20. Oh, Solomon, apparently your coat looks psychedelic in this lighting, so congratulations.
11.
She looks at you.
But I don't want to get home. Just come on and tell me what you find, but be careful, dearie. We don't want that face ruined.
Has anybody here heard anything about what is going on?
No, they won't tell us anything. I just know old Haska's dead inside.
Did you know Haska well?
Well, everybody knew Haska. He worked the night shift here with Ibn.
Where's Katarina?
Katarina's in there?
Okay.
Yeah,
What's she doing in there?
She died too.
She's dead.
Whoopsie.
You see she runs off. She starts whispering to somebody else.
Great.
Whoopsie.
It's okay, Kate. They deserve the truth.
Alright, let's...
They'll learn later.
Okay, let's go inside.
So you go inside the lumber mill. As you go inside the mill, you see an incredibly macabre scene. So there is blood everywhere. You walk on these wooden planks as you step in, and the stench is awful. You try to take everything in all at once. It's almost too much. The blood, the gore. You see an axe that's buried into the floorboards. You see the body of what looked like a woman in a gown, and she's standing by a giant, what looks like a saw blade that's some part of this mill. The saw blade is currently still. There's a big handle next to it, which obviously could engage it. And her body has been sawn in sunder. She's split right from the face down to the middle, gore splattered everywhere.
Oh, this is not good.
That is not the most horrendous thing you see.
Ooh.
You see the body of a man that has been fastened up into the wall, his legs and arms spread asunder, naked. He sits up against the wall. It's been horribly desecrated. You see the entire body has been mutilated. The face has been carved away completely. The lower jaw is missing, and the bare chest has been defaced as well. It bears a strange looking rune on the chest. It looks something like this. And on here, the rune that sits on the chest has been carved in blood right into his chest here. Blood and entrails drip to the floor.
I put my medallion underneath all my armor.
See, Solomon tucks his medallion.
Good call.
The stench is awful.
Can I look around, like actually search around and see if maybe there's a footprint or something in blood?
All right, so you begin to look.
I say.
Hold on, real quick.
Amongst the group.
Okay, no, go ahead.
You know, I find it very interesting, as a sheriff, that he knew of the seven-pointed star, but when we brought up the Thessalonians, he denied knowing their existence completely. When as a sheriff,
He would recognize it
wouldn't
from
you
the body.
look into what the seven-pointed
Well,
star may represent?
these happened, he said, in the past 3 days. I'm sure there have been more important tasks on his hands than figuring out what... That's why he's paying us.
So as you're talking, what was it that you were looking at? Were you looking at the body? You looking at the
Should I
floor?
look around and see if there's any footprints or handprints or anything maybe that was...
So you do see footprints, quite a few footprints, but more than that, there's something that is of interest to you.
Okay.
You notice some of the footprints seem to be smeared and dragging, and something catches your nostrils. You notice some of the footprints as you get closer. There's a necrotic, rotting smell emanating from the footprints.
And can I tell which, like, do they lead off somewhere?
So it's quite scattered all over the room. So you can't really tell any directionality or travel. But you notice that there is a set of footprints through here which smells of
Do I
death.
smell them?
Well, you haven't been. You've been talking. The two of you are still talking.
I'm going to kind of, like, there's several strange footprints on the floor here, and so you can see some of them look like maybe someone was limping or dragging a foot. And there's a strange, like, necrotic smell about them.
I smell
It's
it and
like a
I
dead smell?
taste it to my tongue a little bit to try to identify it.
You smell what? The
The footprints.
Oh, okay. You walk over. Oh, it's almost gagging. Go ahead and roll d20.
Sword dragon.
17.
You can't identify anything other than the sense that this is the stench of the dead.
Or something you created?
Do you remember in Thistletop, the creature that like sort of paralyzed all of us? It killed your goblin friends.
Oh,
This is not the doing.
It's not.
I go outside and I ask one of the common people.
Do you know who the Thessalonians are?
So Ixon, he steps back out after you almost gagged, smelling and tussing. You see the people are all still staring outside. There's a group of 10. Looks like a couple have gone away. And you say what?
Do you know who the Thessalonians are?
You get like a lot of blinking peasants in the hold on, I'm sure. Peasants in the moonlight. The Thessal what?
Thessalonians.
Is that a kind of meat?
I see that gaining knowledge is not something that is treasured in today's society and world. This is.
I
very
think
sad.
you're mocking me right now.
Not you specifically, no. I walk away and I go, well, the sheriff is now a little down on the list. It seems people just choose not to educate themselves of history of the
these
town.
people lived 10,000 years ago. Only the biggest scholars would possibly spend a lot of time studying that. It's
There
not
is a
relevant
huge
then.
There is a
statue.
very large stat.
Yes,
well,
but the
we
ruins
didn't
are
even know that
everywhere.
was
The
Thessalonian until we
average
went
people
to.
are not going to
We're not
study that
from
sort
here.
of thing.
False. In my schooling of education, I learned of societies even eons back, and
You see,
but I did that out of the desires of my own.
you want
heart.
to see the difference though between you and these common folk. You had an education. They did not.
How do you know that?
I don't.
And you know why? Because education
Clearly,
is no
he
longer
didn't have
valuable.
background of an education because he killed me goblin.
All right, so what else are you doing in here? Anything else?
Okay.
I'm throwing up because I do not like.
You feel like it, like you're right on the verge of tossing.
Oh no, I
everything.
already did.
So
Okay, Kate is retching in the corner now.
there are 2 or 3 bodies.
2 bodies.
2 bodies.
There's the woman
Sawn
sawn in
in
sunder.
sunder.
Her blouse is kind of fallen open now, and then there's the man that's up against the wall, almost flayed, face pulled away, jaw gone, giant star carved in his chest.
So would I down in Thistletop, the torture room, we found a torture room with torture tools and the such like. I would like to investigate to see if I see anything that I saw while I was there.
Okay, all right. So you
Something tortures.
you look a little bit closer, and you don't see anything other than the fact that the star itself resembles what's on your medallion that would tell you anything of how this individual was killed. It was clearly a brutal, grisly murder. But then you look a little bit closer, and you notice something. You notice there are claw marks. It looks like in certain places this person was chopped with an axe. In other places, it looks almost like an animal was clawing at its flesh.
Another no fish, no quarter.
So-
I actually look at this
I
I
just noticed something interesting. There's claw marks.
Did the sheriff say anything about the condition of the other men's bodies?
All you remember him saying was that they were.
He recognizes the
Scud24 said, "You lean a little bit closer."
And they grab you.
So you just remember the sheriff saying that there was a similar sort of desecration and a ritual of some
Well,
kind.
it makes me wonder if the woman was just kind of an accident, like was not the intended target of this murder. She just happened to come to see her father, perhaps.
I try to see if this was one doing, like, if one was present while this was happening, or if there was, like, multiple creatures present. Like, I look at the footprints and...
There's so much chaos in the blood. You look around, but what you can see clearly is that the spray pattern from the saw, the woman had been shoved into the saw, and it was obviously running at the time. This would have been used in the mill, and it just... and you can see, again, as I said, there's a lever right next to it where you could engage the mechanism.
Sounds like we need a witcher.
No, I'm thinking I understand, but I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to identify if there was a one attacker or if there were multiple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's confusing, but as you look around, to the best that you can tell, this would support the prince of Hasker, this woman Katarine, the strange barefooted prints that stink, and then one other set of prints, which you would presume to be Ibn, the man that was working with Hasker, or had come in and discovered him.
So just the only ones that are suspicious are the dead.
The barefoot, sort of necrotic smelling ones, yes.
We need to find how all of these deaths, how they all...
I think we need to talk to
the
people.
sheriff. Because we need to see
we need to talk to them.
how all the dead ones, what is a common thread between the
We
three.
need to find the other bodies.
And with that, we're going to stop. It is just after 4 o'clock today here Central Time, and we had a player with a commitment. So thank you so much for a good session. We're going to conclude today's session inside the sawmill of Sandpoint with this strange ritual murder and blood everywhere. So we have time for our MVP vote today. And we like to do that each time. Reminder, this gives you 500 experience points. Now, we didn't hit our goal for followers today, but we did pick up 2 new followers and a sub. And we had great participation. So thank you to all of you that stayed in chat with us and helped us through the game session. And we're now sitting at 257. So I'm pretty confident we'll hit our 260. Next week, we'll be on Saturday, not Sunday, because we'll be on Campaign 2. That is our Lord of the Rings 4th Age saga, which is now in its 3rd year. So that's a very different campaign. This one very early, newer PCs, lower levels. That is a late stage campaign with some pretty epic stuff going on. So join us next Saturday at 2 o'clock Central Time for Campaign 2. All right, now we're going to do our vote for MVP. If you think that the best role play today came from Irda, you just type 1 in the chat. If you think the best roleplay came from Solomon, you type 2 in the chat. If you think it was Ixon, that's 3. If you think it was Cade, that's 4.
Huzzah! Rum for votes.
And we're gonna give you a few minutes.
Always offer rum.
Ethan Evie, a very unsubjective 1 vote already given. Totally unbiased.
How much money did you spend this session?
A lot. But I've got a lot of friends.
An equally unbiased 4 coming from Camelise. All right, so
the goblin got an MVP.
the goblin got the MVP. We'll give that to Cade.
All
right. And while those fingers are up, let's do a little bit of an after session scene. Anybody have any questions, either in the audience or among the players, about anything that happened today? A little behind the scenes here while we're waiting for our votes to come in.
There's nothing to it.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, Ixon, go ahead. We've got his votes being counted.
Vote for me.
So I think as we're waiting, and thank you for the 15 folks that are viewing us right now. We appreciate it, and we have a real opportunity here to see this grow up in 2020. We're excited about it, And we're waiting to see if we have any other questions, sort of a behind the scenes.
Vote for Cade.
I think my favorite part of today's session, frankly, was one of the best roleplay sessions I've seen in a while. It was early in the session when we had the tale being told by Cade and Solomon. Before Ixon came down
Right.
and kind of put a blanket on it. That was a bit odd.
Rained on my parade.
He rained on your one party
My
pirate
pirate parade.
The one
Just
part
kill.
pirate Cade parade.
All right.
Man, he sent a thunderstorm on it.
So we have a vote for Solomon that came from C. Carson. We have a vote for Cade. We have what I'm calling another vote for Cade, which is for the Goblin as the MVP, unless I should make that the DM, but I don't think I should. We have one for Ethan Evie Games. So we're gonna say right now, Cade is on the cusp of a back-to-back victory, but we're gonna give it another 30 seconds. So we're gonna allow any more votes to come in. And reminder, next time we're gonna do a giveaway of that mini. We didn't do it today because we didn't quite get to 260. But again, thank you for those that did follow us.
Yes,
Last-
cars, you have to watch the first part.
Yeah,
Kay
yeah.
and I had a little bit of fun with
Hey.
the robustity.
The
The
robustity.
robustity.
If you
of
missed
our
if you
storytelling.
missed the first 30, 40 minutes of the session, you've got to go back and watch that. That was pretty epic. Okay, so while we're giving just a few more seconds, we are going to no, you can't do that, come Elise. 4.
Which mini? Oh, it was the fairy dragon thing.
Yeah, the fairy dragon. The fairy
I'll
dragon.
show the fairy dragon.
I'll show the fairy dragon again.
It's really cool.
This mini will be given away on Saturday. This is kind of an extra, so just to give you a sense of scale, this is a typical mini, and this is the mini we're giving away. It is a pretty good sized fairy dragon, really well painted. It's a cool figure.
Tell your friends to follow us, you landlubbers.
And so tell them to follow us next week. We'll be on Saturday at 2. All right. So we are going once, going twice, and close. Cade, Captain Cade
Huzzah!
Cardinal.
Thank you
gets
to me, Goblin,
the
who died.
second
A tragic
consecutive dub. So, thank you to all of our players. Much appreciated. Really good session today. Well done. And enjoy your dice trays and your super cool minis. And we're going to hang out for a second here, and we're going to do a raid. So if you're viewing, hang on with us for a moment while we find a worthy partner to raid. Don't leave.
I'm pretty sure